Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the regional quarterfinals of 5A high school baseball. And what a matchup do we have here tonight. And in this three-game series, the Georgetown Eagles and the New Braunfels Canyon Cougars. Tonight here at 7 p.m. Tomorrow night there, New Braunfels Canyon, 7 p.m. Saturday, if necessary, at Westlake High School at 7 p.m. And what a show is expected. Two great teams. Two teams sitting with just 6-7 losses on the year. Two district champions seeded first out of their districts. And the battle starts here in just a few minutes.
I'm excited, Wally. It's going to be a great ball game tonight. This is by far the best team that Georgetown has faced in the playoffs to this point. Very similar teams here, and both teams are going to rely on pitching and going to be relying on the defense behind them to do good things back there. I don't know if Canyon does or does not have the depth at pitching that Georgetown has, but going to be very similar. Pretty good hitting through the season. Maybe some error problems here and there, but this should be a great ball game. Should be a great series.
New Braunfels Canyon comes in 26-7 overall on the season, 13-3 in district play. Your Eagles come in 27-6 overall. They were 10-4 in District 25. District 25 was the one that you just never see. All four teams that made the playoffs were co-champions of the district, 10-4, all on that crazy night at Cedar Park when Georgetown muddled the water by beating Cedar Park team on senior night at their house to prevent them from having sole championship. And instead, they ended up in the 2 seed, the 3 and 4 seed, Liberty Hill and Rouse, both eliminated in the first round. Other matchups of interest that we look at, Kelly, Cedar Park, the runner-up from District 25, and Buda Johnson, the runner-up from District 25. They play tomorrow night, 7 o'clock at Concordia High School, or Concordia College out on 620 in a one-game winner-takes-all.
Wow. I don't like the one-game winner-takes-all at any level, but especially when you're in the third round. But nobody asked me. Nobody cares what I think about it. But, man, let the best team advance, and the best team's one that can take 3 games.
And it makes sense when you get down to the semifinals, when you get down to the finals. That is the winner-takes-all in a battle. You put the best against the best out on the field. But then to get to the championship, what's your second best? Because you turn around a day, you get 1 day off, and a day later you're back on the field. Your starter from the semifinals isn't out there during the finals. But in a series like this, you're going to see the best of what these teams have from the top to the bottom. Your pitching staffs are going to be challenged. Your arms are going to be displayed because you can't just go and throw your ace one game and hope you get the best that they have to offer. Other matchups in this round that will make some concern for, bring some, I guess, preparedness for us as we want to look at it. Corpus Christi Veterans Memorial takes on Sherryland Pioneer. And then McAllen Rowe takes on Corpus Christi Ray. Looking at those matchups, those are the other teams left in Region 4, where the winner of this series, the winner of Buda and Cedar Park, play one of those 2 winners. And so just other ones to watch of interest. Those matchups, they start tonight as well. Down in Falfurrias, McAllen Rowe and Corpus Christi Ray. I'm jealous of the Corpus Christi Veterans Memorial and Sherryland Pioneer. Tonight they play at Whataburger Field there in Corpus Christi. Tomorrow night at UET Rio Grande Valley and then Hebronville in Game 3 if necessary. And so some matchups to watch as we go throughout this next couple of days to see where these playoffs take a turn.
And the interesting thing is, Wally, now that you look at the teams that are left in this region, all of them have single-digit losses. So it's baseball time now, and it's all good teams remaining trying to make that push to get to Dell Diamond.
Let's take a quick time out. We'll come back. We'll go through some starting lineups, some information about both these teams, a little heads-up comparison against like opponents, and different things to look at before we get going. You're listening to Georgetown Eagle Playoff Baseball live here on SHN. Back in 1 minute. Back here on SHN Sports as the teams have finished their infield showdown, all that stuff that they go through, and now the teams will meet down their lines. The Georgetown Eagles, the home team tonight here at Eagle Field in the third base dugout. The visiting Canyon Cougars down the first base line. White baseball pants with black stripes, black jerseys, red lettering, red numerals with white outline, the black caps with the CC logo on the front for the Cougars. Your Georgetown Eagles in the throwbacks. We love them. The ivory white GWTN across the front in Eagle Blue. Eagle Blue numerals on the back with the high stirrups in Eagle Blue and the Eagle Blue baseball caps as they meet down the third base line. The Canyon Cougars come in. Superintendent for Comal ISD overall, Andrew Kim. The high school principal at New Braunfels Canyon High School, Dustin Davison. The CISD Director of Athletics, Brian Martinez, and Travis Bush, the Canyon Athletic Coordinator there for the Cougars. Like opponents, Kelly, you look at it, Vandergrift High School, Alamo Heights, and Rouse. Three good programs that these two teams have played. And if you look at the overall records, Georgetown comes in with a 4-1 comparison to Canyon's 3-4 record. The split there with Rouse, both teams splitting 2-2 for Canyon, 1-1 for the Georgetown Eagles. Reminiscent back to that beautiful 12-inning game, 1-0 battle royale when Rouse was sitting there ranked number 1 in the state and hadn't lost in district. And Georgetown, that great battle. Then we go to Rouse and lose 2-0. A four-game series between Canyon and Rouse, one in the preseason and then 3 in the playoffs to start it off, and they eliminated Rouse 15-8, 14-9. They lost 12-2, 7-1 earlier on in the year. And so different things to look at. Alamo Heights, Georgetown swept Alamo Heights in the first round of the playoffs 3-0 and 11-1. This Canyon Cougar team beat them 5-1 one time and lost one time 13-9. And then you look at Vandergrift, 4-1 win for the Eagles, a 3-1 loss for the Cougars. So just looking at those like opponents, all those teams that we talk about are good opponents, scrappy baseball teams that like to put the ball into play, aggressive at the plate, and have some talent on the mound.
Yeah, and it's a lot of fun to watch these kids. And when you start drawing the comparisons between the records, what we said last week holds true this week. You got to throw the regular season record out. It's playoff baseball, and now in the third round, all of the teams that you're going to face are quality opponents, so we should have some good baseball.
In the bi-district playoff round, Canyon beat Rouse 7-1 in Game 1, lost 9-14 in Game 2, and then won Game 3 12-2. In the area round, they beat San Antonio McCollum in 2 games straight, 11-0 and 9-2. Your Eagles in the bi-district beat Alamo Heights 3-0 on the road at Alamo Heights, and then came home with the run rule on that following day, 11-1. And then last week against Floresville, went on the road and was victorious 9-4 in 9 innings on a great baseball game on a Friday night there in Floresville, and then came back home for an early noon game last Saturday and was victorious 5-0. Tonight here in Georgetown, 7 p.m. Tomorrow night in New Braunfels at Canyon High School at 7 p.m. And then Saturday, the Game 3 if necessary at Westlake High School. Georgetown High School, the superintendent for Georgetown ISD is Dr. Fred Brent, the high school principal, Brian Johnson. As Jaron Vieira likes to tell him, stay close to the light switch. It's time to turn it blue. Athletic director for Georgetown ISD is Jason Dean. Head coach for the baseball team is Jordan Vieira. And Kelly, I want to stop right here first and foremost and take a minute to give our thoughts and prayers to Eastview High School. A very big car accident on, I believe it was Saturday, took the life of 3 students, I believe 2 current and 1 former student of Eastview High School. Nonetheless, the community of Eastview was rocked. Absolutely decimated, and I know a lot of people that know those kids, and our hearts go out to our Eastview brothers and sisters across town. It's just a decimating time, and, it really shows you the importance of what's important. And tonight, we're excited about the baseball game. We're excited for this series, but it's a baseball game. And there are some more important things in life that are going on, so we take a step back tonight. We relax a little bit and watch some baseball game, but we want our Eastview friends to know that our thoughts and our prayers are with all of you during this very difficult time and with the families of those who lost children. The last 2 seasons, I've had the pleasure of calling Eastview basketball on the girls' side, girls and guys this year, the girls' volleyball, softball last year. Got to make some good friends over there at Eastview, and you know the officers that are all SROs over there. Kyle Sanford, one of our good friends, and so just our heart hurts for the community of Georgetown, but for those students and what they're going through here at the end of the year as they prepare for finals, they prepare for graduation. But our thoughts, everyone here at SHN, we send our condolences to those families. Our prayers and thoughts are with you. And so we'll take a quick moment of silence, take a quick break, and be back here with more Eagle Baseball. Back here live from Eagle Field. The fight song brings us back thanks to the Georgetown Eagle Fighting Band for the fight song, the Wonga Boom, the recording that Kelly made a few years ago. The live Wonga Boom will bring you here in a little bit. As Coach Nick Cazole meets at the home plate with Coach Jordan Vieira, and things are back to normal, folks.
Jared's back.
Jared Frimmel.
Yes, indeed.
Back at home plate with Coach Vieira. Jared was out competing in the Special Olympics last weekend in San Antonio, watching the game on his phones, getting ready for his events to run. We got to talk to his parents. We were just nervous that, one, is Jared okay? And then we got to see the video of Jared seeing his cutout that was made and was prominently on display, and came out to celebrate with the team each and every time they scored this past week. And so glad to see Jared back out there with Coach Vieira.
Yeah, we saw him before the game, and he was excited to be back. So
he didn't like to miss, but I was glad. A lot of officers from our agency went down and participated in and watched the Special Olympics down in San Antonio last weekend, which is also an awesome event to watch and be a part of. And so it was cool to see and know that Jared was down there competing, representing the beautiful town of Georgetown, Texas. The New Braunfels Canyon Cougars, head coach Nick Cazole, assistant coaches Scott Larson, Brandon Durst, Cameron Arnold, and Mickey Scott. They come in representing 5A, Region 4 District, number 26. Their starting lineup will go this way for Game 1 of the Regional Quarterfinal Series against Georgetown. Batting first and playing right field, number 25, Blake Hollingshead. Batting second and playing second base, number 1, Trip Villanueva. Batting third and playing catcher, number 3, Robbie Lopez. Batting fourth and playing first base, number 22, Will Canalico. I told him I'd mess that up, and I did. Canalico batting fourth. Batting fifth and playing center field, number 13, Isaac Wyman. Actually, it's you. Go ahead and try to say it, Kelly.
Urita Goyena.
And it is now Wyman. As their coach said, it's normal for most teams to pronounce. A lot of them do it. Talking to the Canalico family when I was trying to get some pronunciation, they said the same thing. Everyone calls him Wyman. He bats fifth and plays center field. Batting sixth and playing left field, number 10, Evan Janner. Batting seventh in the designated hitter, number 4, Chandler Banks. Batting eighth, the pitcher, number 5, E.J. Garcia. And batting ninth, the third baseman, number 12, Bryce Garza. The top third for the Cougars, Hollingshead, Villanueva, and Lopez. The middle third, Canalico, Wyman, Janner. The bottom third, Banks, Garcia, and Garza. Shortstop will be number 2, Sam Ortiz. He will be hit for by the DH, Chandler Banks. Now to Kelly, the coaching staff and all the stat people for the Eagle baseball team.
Your head coach for your Georgetown Eagles in his 3rd year at the helm, head coach Jordan Vieira. His assistants are Chad Payne, David Durrell, and Robert Halm. Also assistant Barry Johnson and coach Jared Fremmel back tonight. Glad to have Jared back. Stat girls are Grace King and Carter Campbell and Dylan Jones. Athletic trainers for the baseball team are Macy Denson and Alyssa Stock. Batting first for the Eagles, number 19, Zach Mazak. He'll be behind the plate tonight. Batting second is number 2, E.J. Davis. Batting third in the order, number 6, Landon Heil, the senior infielder. Batting fourth, number 25, Reese Bell, senior first baseman. Batting fifth is Logan Smith. He's a senior, wears number 5. Super sophomore Riley Leininger is batting 6th. Batting 7th is Eli Hellman. He's a junior. Batting 8th is Nick Silva. And batting 9th is Ty Klaus Keismore. He'll be playing left field. In center field,
please join us for the national anthem. Back here at Eagle Field, first and foremost, thank you to all our men and women in uniform, our armed forces, our veterans especially. Thank you for all of your efforts in serving our country now and before. To those that have sacrificed their lives and those out there willing to do so, we thank you for the rights to be here and the freedoms to be here and enjoy a night like tonight. Across the way, Kelly, it makes your blood ready and gets it boiling. The spring game going on across the way at Birkelbach Field as Nick Silva goes through the warm-ups here to prepare for the top of the first. So the lineup for your Eagles, the top third, Mazik, Davis, Heil, the middle third, Bell, Smith, and Leininger, the bottom third, Hellman, Silva, and Klaus Keismore. In center field will be Andon Petty. He will play defensively, and he will be pinch hit for by the designated hitter, Riley Leininger, the super sophomore. Due up here in the top of the first for the Cougars will be Hollingshead, Villanueva, and Lopez. Blake Hollingshead, number 25, the right fielder. He'll lead things off for the Cougars. Hollingshead will bat from the right side. He'll lead things off here for the Cougars. Nick Silva, the senior pitcher, will lead things off for the Eagles on the mound. The first pitch of the ball game. Ground ball hit out towards third on a high hop. Smith throws on the run. One pitch, one out. 5-3 on the putout. And that'll bring up Trip Villanueva, the second baseman.
That's how you'd like to see it start. And we've had several of those this season. Hopefully 3 pitches, 3 outs. That'd be all right.
The immaculate inning. Nick Silva from the windup to Villanueva. First pitch is not going to lead to that as it bounces in through. That is the epitome of that one.
Just a bit outside.
It bounced through the left-handed batter's box.
Silva tried to corner and missed.
The next pitch is in there. Swing and a miss for Villanueva, and it evens up the count at 1 strike. Robbie Lopez, the catcher, on deck for the Cougars here in the top of the first. Silva from the windup. The 1-1 pitch outside, just off the outside corner. Ball 2. 2-1 the count now to the second baseman. The 2-1 pitch. Inside corner, called strike 2. Evens up the count now, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
After this batter, we'll set the defense for you for the Eagles.
The 2-2 pitch, and this one way outside as well. 3-2 now, a full count to trip Villanueva. Silva back set on the mound. Gets the sign, the payoff pitch. And a ball hit into center field, and it's going to be down in front of Petty for a 1-out single. Villanueva rounds first, but he'll stay there. First base runner of the night for the Cougars.
Setting up the defense in the outfield for you. In left field, Klaus Geismore, Petty in center, and Heil in right. Smith is at third, Hellman's at short, Davis is at second, Bell is at first. Mazik is behind the plate, and Silva on the mound.
In steps Robbie Lopez, the catcher. 1 out and a runner on first. The first pitch to Lopez. Outside corner misses. Just outside for ball 1. 1-0 the count.
What was that motion by the umpire?
I'm not sure. He turned around and kind of gave a side thumbs up.
The Fonzie.
1-0 the count now to Lopez. Silva comes set from the stretch. The 1-0 pitch skips in there. Good block there by Zachary Mazik. And it's a 2-0 count now to Lopez.
Zach has done a great job this season of keeping that ball in front of him, and that really gives your pitcher some confidence to test those low throws into the plate.
Pickoff attempt to first base. Villanueva slides back in safely. 2-0 the count to the catcher, Robbie Lopez. Lead off by Villanueva. Bell holds him on. The 2-0 pitch from Silva and a ground ball. High bounce. Smith only play is going to be across the first base, and it's in time for out number 2. 5-3 on the putout, and that's 2 outs here in the top of the first. That'll move Villanueva up to second base and bring up Will Canalico, the cleanup hitter for the Cougars.
That artificial turf bounce that you saw there, you wouldn't have seen that last weekend in that soft dirt that was everywhere, just blowing all over the place. The players were talking about it. They couldn't get their feet set real well on those jumps. They were trying to steal bases.
And it all changed Saturday. You saw the leads taken are a lot bigger, a lot more confident. The first pitch to Canalico, and he slaps it into left field. The line drive right at Ty Klaus Geismore, and he'll make the catch for out number 3. No runs on a hit, no errors, and 1 runner left on. After half an inning, 0-0. The Eagles coming up in the bottom half of the first. More Eagle baseball on SHN in just a moment. Go to the bottom of the first. Mazik, Davis, and Heil due up for your Eagles. Zach Mazik will lead things off. The lefty catcher will step in here to face off against E.J. Garcia to start things off in the bottom half of the first. No runs on a hit, no errors in the top of the first for the Cougars. Garcia from the windup. Mazik takes the first pitch outside for ball 1. 1-0 pitch to Mazik. A breaking ball, and it's hit into right center field. The right fielder turns and runs. Mazik circles first. One hopper off the wall. It's going to be a leadoff double for Zachary Mazik. And he starts it off just like he did against Floresville the other night. Garcia hung a curveball, and Mazik put it a one-hopper just to the right of the 385 sign in right center field. Kelly, the momentum starts early there for Zach.
Impressive hit, and he took that pitch and just drove it to the wall. Little bit of information that we just gathered from that. The center fielder scooped that ball off the wall, and from the wall, gunned that ball past second base in. So center fielder's got a cannon of an arm.
So make a note that Y-Man does have an arm. And now steps in E.J. Davis, the second baseman. He'll step in from the right side. Zach Zavala, the courtesy runner, for the catcher Mazik, on at second base to run now. Here in the bottom of the first. So no outs and a runner at second base for the Eagles. Garcia moves to the stretch. A look back at Zavala. And the first pitch to Davis. He'll square to bunt, pulls the bat back, and takes it for a called strike.
A lot of movement on that breaking pitch right there. So
0-1 the count now to E.J. Davis. He'll try to move Zavala over to third base with just an out. And now a turnaround by Garcia, but no throw to second base. Zavala quickly back. Talked to Zach last night, Mazik, at the coach's show. When we talked to him, he said, what kind of confidence does it give you to know that Zach Zavala goes and runs for you? He said, man, I'm the fastest runner there is on this team. Wild pitch gets past the catcher, Lopez, all the way back to the backstop, and Zavala moves up to third base. Now, E.J. Davis, it opens him up. You got the base runner at third and no outs.
Yeah, and this is the start that you need, and I think you take away the bunt now.
Expect E.J. to be opening up here. The infield kind of playing. The corners will play in now. The middle infield stays back. The pitch now for Garcia. Outside misses for ball two. 2-1 to count now to E.J. Davis. And right there, Kelly, I think the bunt's gone. He didn't even square around at all. E.J. Davis looking for a pitch to drive here to try to get that run in.
And it shows you that Canyon's not going to want to give up runs. They're going to play and try to cut down this run at the plate.
And there's the ball hit out to second base. The second baseman, Villanueva, up with it. He'll throw to first. A nice play by the first baseman, Canalico, to make the play. But the run is scored. E.J. Davis, an RBI ground out in the bottom of the first inning. The Eagles strike first here in the bottom of the first.
Little bit of an errant throw, and we got some information before the game that Canyon is a little apt to have some errors. We almost saw one right there, but the first baseman did a good job of getting his foot back on the bag.
4-3 on the putout for out number one, and that brings up Landon Heil, the right fielder. He'll step in here with one out. No runners on now. But a nice RBI there for E.J. Davis. Heil takes this pitch. It's in there for a called strike. And the count evens up now at 1 ball and 1 strike to Landon Heil with one out here in the bottom of the first. The 1-1 pitch fouled off back to the screen. 1-2 now the count to Landon Heil.
Landon's batting .367 to this point in the season. He's done a good job of getting on base, and he's had some timely hits as well, driving in some runs.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Garcia from the windup. The 1-2 pitch, and it hits Heil. He'll go down to first base, and now another base runner with one out. Kelly, the Eagles doing what they talk about when Coach talks about we're putting pressure on early and putting the pressure on the defense to not make mistakes, and what you have to do against this Canyon Cougar team.
And whenever you have when you're playing a team that has had a pretty decent amount of errors on the season, you want to put the ball in play. You want to force them to make defensive plays out there. So they're going to be aggressive at the plate.
Reese Bell steps in now, the number 4 hitter in the lineup, the first baseman. Steps in with one out and a runner at first. Garcia now to the stretch. The first pitch to Bell. Swing and a miss. Bell was taking a hack down the left field line there and came up short. 0-1 to count now to Reese Bell.
I think Reese was counting on a fastball there and got a little fooled with the placement of the off-speed pitch. I think it's a changeup.
Heil leads off, and he takes off. Now he'll stop and come back. Bell takes it for a called strike. 0-2 now the count to Reese Bell. Here in the bottom of the first, one out. One run across. The leadoff double. Now pickoff attempt. Landon Heil dives back in safely.
A little better read on that pickoff attempt.
A little bit better. Good sure footing here on the all turf infield, all natural grass outfield. At Eagle Field here on the campus of Georgetown High School. Garcia comes set. The 0-2 pitch to Bell. And he's going to pop it up on the infield. Kind of drifts out to the outfield. The second baseman, Villanueva, drifts into shallow center field. And he'll make the catch for out number 2. So technically in the book it'll be P4 in left field.
Yeah.
But 2 outs, and Heil had to return back to first. And that'll bring up Logan Smith.
Logan's batting .258 at this point in the season. Got an on-base percentage of .378 with a slugging percentage of .371 and an OPS of .749.
Logan steps in from the right side with 2 outs and a runner at first here in the bottom of the first. 1-0, Georgetown leads it. A pickoff attempt. Landon Heil dives back in. And he's safe there at first base. Great crowd here tonight. First pitch to Smith, and he fouls it over the third base dugout for strike 1.
Any more of the late arriving Eagle fans are going to have to jump over here in this mix of red shirts.
Fill it up and make the color a little bit more Eagle-ish.
Turn the first base line purple.
As the one guy sits there in a purple shirt. Looking back, are they talking to me? 0-1 to count to Logan Smith. But a good turnout from Canyon, not too far down the road from New Braunfels. Tomorrow night, you'll look to see the same return favor as the Eagle crowd will change. You will give suit and shake off down to New Braunfels to support this Eagle baseball team. Heil off on the pitch running, but fouled off by Smith back to the backstop. Now 0-2 the count to Logan Smith.
More of the hijinks on the foul ball with one of the Canyon players rushing over to try to beat the Georgetown player, too. That happened last weekend, too.
Ferreira came sliding in. 0-2, Logan Smith, and he wants timeout and gets it at home plate. He didn't like what he had, and he was making it clear.
He was bagging.
He was shaking that hand at the umpire.
That was baseball bagging right there.
0-2 the count, the 0-2 pitch, and Smith will send it down the right field line. Giving chase is Hollingshead into foul territory, but he can't get there. The first baseman and second baseman kind of turn and look at him like, why didn't you get there? But it seemed a little closer to them.
Yeah.
But I think that wind kind of killed it more than they expected, and so Logan stays alive, 0-2 in the count.
The wind seems to be swirling a little bit. A while ago, those flags were pushing straight outfield or out center field, and now they're kind of blowing right to left.
Canalico holds Heil on at first. 0-2 the count to Logan Smith with 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. The 0-2 pitch, Heil off on the pitch, a swing and a miss, and a strikeout for out number 3. But not before the Eagles record 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, and a runner left on base. After 1 complete inning, 1-0, Georgetown leads it over Canyon. Back with more Eagle baseball on SHN in just a moment. Go to the top of the second inning. The 5, 6, and 7 hitters due up for the Cougars. Isaac Wyman, Evan Janner, and Chandler Banks, the designated hitter. Isaac Wyman, the center fielder, number 13, steps in from the right side to lead things off here in the top of the second. Swing and a miss at the first pitch. 0-1 to count to Wyman. 11 pitches in the first inning thrown by Silva. From the windup, the 0-1 pitch in there for a called strike. 0-2. The count to the center fielder, Wyman, better known as Yurita Goyima. Yeah,
Yurita Goyena.
Yeah, that one too. Wyman back in the in the box. The 0-2 pitch sails up over his head for ball 1. 1-2 the count to Wyman. Michael Francis, the Rouse play-by-play voice of the Rouse Raiders, just gave me the heads up. Hey, just go with Wyman. And that is what we will do. The 1-2 pitch outside for ball 2. 2-2 now the count.
I refuse. Yurita Goyena.
Silva from the windup. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. And Wyman down for out number 1 here in the top of the second. First strikeout of the ball game for Nick Silva, and that will bring up the left fielder, Evan Janner, number 10. He'll step in from the left side for the Cougars. We'll one out here in the top of the second.
Lady Eagles are playing tonight, right?
6 p.m. start, taking on Victoria West at Marion High School. The first pitch to Jenner, and it's a ball hit out to right field. Landon Heil on the run, makes the catch as he lays out for out number 2. L9 in the book for the second out. And that will bring up Chandler Banks, the designated hitter for the Cougars. This Cougar team attacking the pitches early.
Nick is dealing. Like to see it. Hope we can keep that up.
Silva back in the windup. Banks from the right side. First pitch, outside corner, called strike 1. Beautiful pitch there. Kelly's going to reach out to his contact with the Lady Eagles softball team. We'll try to follow up on their Twitter. They're in a game 1 of the best of 3 series against Victoria West tonight in the regional semifinal. Strike 2 on the swing and the miss. 0-2 the count now to Banks.
Finally won a coin toss, or
exactly what happened.
The other team wanted 3 games as well.
Exactly what happened. Braylon Pinnell was on the coach's show with us last night. I surprised her, got her to come up and chat with us about the playoffs. The 0-2 pitch misses over in the turf. Nice block there by Zachary Mozick. 1-2 the count now to Banks. And that's what Braylon said. A couple of series in a row, we lose the coin toss, and teams want to take their shot at getting the Lady Eagles on one game and taking advantage and trying to get a 1 win. And unsuccessful so far. Swing and a miss. Mozick scoops it, throws down to Bell at first base for out number 3. And the Cougars go in order in the top of the second. After an inning and a half, 1-0, Georgetown leads it. Back with more Eagle baseball on SHN in just a moment. Back here live at Eagle Field on the campus of Georgetown High School, the regional quarterfinal playoff series underway between your Georgetown Eagles and the New Braunfels Canyon Cougars. Riley Leininger, Eli Hellman, and Nick Silva due up here in the bottom of the second for the Eagles. Riley Leininger, the super sophomore DH, steps in from the left side for his first at-bat of the night. E.J. Garcia from the windup. First pitch, outside corner, called strike 1.
We got an update from the Lady Eagles just a few minutes ago. Said we were down 3-1. Lady Eagles were down 3-1, bottom of the 4th. But I just got another update. It is tied now. Lady Eagles are batting. They have 1 run, single run home run.
So the Lady Eagles tying it up. 0-2 the count to Leininger. Back in from the left side, the 0-2 pitch. Called strike 3 as it looked like that one was down in the zone near the turf.
I thought we were going to get the Fonzie on that one for a ball.
Leininger went down in 3 pitches for out number 1. Second strikeout of the ball game for E.J. Garcia. He threw 17 pitches in the top of the first when he gave up the 1 run on the 1 hit. And now we'll face off against the shortstop, number 21, Eli Hellman. Garcia to work from the windup. First pitch misses outside for a ball. 1-0 the count to Hellman. On deck, Nick Silva, the pitcher for the Eagles. 1-0 pitch. Hellman fouls it off back to the screen, evens up the count at 1-1. So that was tough for you to say, Kelly, but the Eagles, the short of it, the Lady Eagles have tied it up in the 4th.
They have tied it up. And Kennedy Miller with the
tank. The 1-1 pitch misses low and outside for ball 2. 2-1, and it all started with the Lady Eagles softball team.
It did.
Braylon Pinnell's 2-run tank against the Leander Lions last year in the regional finals. This one in there for a called strike. Way to punch him out with 2 strikes there, Mr. Umpire Man. 2-2 now to count to Eli Hellman.
I made that mistake once. Catcher went, you meant ball 2.
The 2-2 pitch. Hellman slaps it down the first baseline, but it goes out of play. The count stays 2 balls and 2 strikes. He rung it quick, and then he said, 2 strikes, and just pointed out there nice and smooth. That's good. But the count stays 2-2 to Eli Hellman. Nick Silva, the pitcher, on deck for the Eagles. E.J. Garcia from the windup, the 2-2 pitch. And Hellman grounds it down the third baseline. And an Olay attempt by Coach Vieira. Count stays 2 balls and 2 strikes. The high hopper clearly over his head. Hellman will step back in. Good battle here between Eli Hellman and E.J. Garcia. Working the pitch count. And now a timeout called.
Coach Vieira pointed out something.
Want to check it after it hit off the fence. You make sure there's not a cut on it. Let the ball do weird things.
I was wondering, was he thinking he's got some salve on the ball?
The 2-2 pitch to Hellman. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 for out number 2.
Breaking pitch is working.
Garcia's 3rd strikeout of the ball game, keeping the hitters off balance. And now Nick Silva will step in. That'll be Ty Klaus-Keismore in the on-deck circle for the Eagles. Here in the bottom of the second, 2 outs, 1-0 your score. The Eagles put up 1 run in the bottom of the first thanks to a leadoff double by Zachary Mozick. Wild pitch got Zavala over to third. Ground ball out towards second, a high hopper, fielded by Villanueva. The throw to first in time. And the Eagles go in order here in the bottom of the second. After 2 innings, 1-0 your score. Back with more Eagle Playoff Baseball on SHN. To the top of the third inning. The 8-9-1 hitters do up for the Cougars here in the top of the third. Garza, and Hollingshead. E.J. Garcia, the pitcher, will lead things off here in his first appearance of the ball game for the Cougars. He'll bat from the right side. Nick Silva, 21 pitches thrown through 2 innings. Back on the mound for the Eagles here to start the third. First pitch, and off-speed pitch in there for a strike.
Runs could be at a premium tonight.
Both pitchers keeping the batters off balance. The 0-1 pitch to Garcia, and a swing and a miss, strike 2. Still trying to figure out why our cameras will not set in this heat. Now the videos click up. We'll see if we can get to them. The 0-2 pitch sails high for ball 1. 1-2 now the count to E.J. Garcia. Silva on the mound, ready to go. The 1-2 pitch. Outside, just missed for ball 2. 2-2 now the count. The 2-2 pitch, and a ball popped up on the infield. Hellman, the shortstop, drifts back into shallow left field. Behind third base, makes the catch for out number 1. P6 in the book, and that'll bring up the third baseman, number 12, Bryce Garza, for his first at bat.
Now batting, third baseman, number 12, Bryce Garza.
Garza will bat from the right side as well here for the Cougars, the number 9 hitter in the lineup. Great crowd filling up here in the stands. Beautiful night for high school baseball here on this Thursday night. The first pitch to Garza, outside corner, just misses. Looked a lot of similarity to the pitch that Riley Leininger was called out on, a strike 3. 1-0 the count.
Yeah, that pitch finished nicely. When he released it, I thought it was going to be way outside, but
this one popped up on the first base side, but it curls out of play. 1-1 the count now to the third baseman, Bryce Garza, the number 9 hitter. Yeah, I think it almost feels like the umpire gave up on that one as well. That ball did come out, and it came back across. But a good pitch there. Good spot to miss. Keep knocking at that corner there. You may get it later on. The 1-1 pitch. What a beautiful pitch there. 1-2 on the called strike to Garza. 1 out here in the top of the third. Garza steps out, takes his time, and now the first base umpire has something to say.
Do you want some water?
I'm not sure what all happened, but Coach Vieira talks up to part of the crowd up there. So welcome back to action. Silva, the 1-2 pitch. Ground ball out between short and third. Hellman backhands it. He'll set his feet, throw across the diamond. And what a play there by the junior shortstop, Eli Hellman.
I love seeing those plays from those two guys on the left side of that infield.
6-3 in the book for out number 2, and that'll take us back to the top of the lineup for the Cougars. Hollingshead steps in. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. He grounded out to Logan Smith to lead things off in the top of the first. Steps in here 0 for 1 with 2 outs in the top of the third inning. Silva's first pitch. Swing and a miss. 0-1 the count to Hollingshead. He went swinging on the first pitch of his first at bat and grounded it on that high hop to Logan Smith for out number 1 in the first inning. Aggressive at the plate. The 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2.
Little excuse me swing says I was confused.
And I was going to say, I think he wanted to swing until he thought the pitch, and it kind of threw him off. And Silva doing the same thing as E.J. Garcia, keeping the batters off balance. The 0-2 pitch. Outside corner. Mazik set up out there. Good spot to miss. See if he'll chase, but not something you can put a good part of the bat on. But he lays off. 1-2 the count. The 1-2 pitch. And a ball slashed towards the third base dugout. Count remains 1-2 for Hollingshead. Silva back on the mound from the windup. The 1-2 pitch. Ground ball out towards third. A high hopper. Logan Smith fills it on the line to throw on the play. We'll see if he, bam! What a play. Put a gold star in it. Logan Smith. High hop, fields it on the line behind the bag, almost into the outfield. Throws it on a one hop to Reese Bell. He reaches out and makes the catch. 5-3 on the put out. And the Eagles get out of it here in the top of the third.
Reese did a great job of stretching out to get that ball in time.
The Canyon Cougars go in order again here in the third after 2.5. We're still 1-0 Georgetown. Back with more Eagle Baseball and SHN in just a moment. Go to the bottom of the third. Kelly, set the defense for the Cougars for us.
Defensively for the Cougars in left field, Janner. Center field, Eureka Goyena. And Hollingsworth in right field. Across the infield, left to right, Garza, Ortiz, Villanueva, and Canalicchio. Garcia is on the mound and Lopez behind the plate.
The 9-1-2 hitters due up here in the bottom of the third for the Eagles. Ty Klaus Keismore will lead us off. He takes the first pitch inside for ball one. 1-0 the count. to the left fielder, Ty Klaus Keismore. The 1-0 pitch in there for a called strike. Evens up the count at 1-1. Mozick and Davis on deck and in the hole for the Eagles here in the bottom of the third. Garcia from the windup. The 1-1 pitch and fouled off for strike two. 1-2 the count now to Ty Klaus Keismore. Klaus Keismore back in the box. Garcia from the windup. The 1-2 pitch. Klaus Keismore slashes it down the first base line, but foul.
I like that idea.
Got the right fielder, Hollingshead, playing about 25 feet off the line. That ball got past the first baseman. It would have been to the corner with that speed of Ty. That would have been fun to watch. The 1-2 pitch, and Ty fouls it back out of play.
The right side of the field is going to have an issue with the sun for about another half an hour.
Big gap in right center field as the right fielder, Hollingshead, shadows more to the line, but the center fielder about 5 steps left of second base, shadowing towards left field. So a big gap there in the right center field. 1-2, ball on a high hop out towards third. The third baseman, Garza, up with it. Throws across the diamond in time. Great play there. 5-3 on the putout for out number one.
If he waits for that second hop, he never makes that play, but he did a good job of charging that baseball and stopping it before it gets to that second hop. Good throw over to first. Good play.
Now Zachary Mozick will lead it, or come in here with one out. His second at-bat of the ball game. He's 1 for 1 in the game. He had a double to start things off on the first pitch, or the second pitch of the game. Slashes this one down the third baseline, but it curls out of play, foul. Zach able to spray the ball all over this field, so you've got to kind of play him straight up, and I think he showed you right center field is his favorite. The 0-1 pitch, and it hits Mozick. So Zach reaches base again. Second batter hit by a pitch by Garcia. That'll bring Zach Zavala out of the dugout. 2 run for your catcher. The only thing about that, something like that, you're so scary up on the hands,
yeah.
Especially for a catcher. For Zach, you just want to make sure he doesn't get hurt. You have a good backup in Chance Pernica behind him, but, I mean, there's your stud catcher, a D1 commit that you can't afford to lose. Pickoff attempt, Zavala dives back in safely.
It's just part of the beating that you take as a catcher and a good hitter.
E.J. Davis steps in. He had an RBI ground out in the first. 0 for 1 at the plate. The first pitch, and a ball sent into right field. Hollingshead's going to turn and give chase, and he's going to be burnt. 1 hop, 2 hops off the wall. Here comes Zavala all the way around third. He's going home. E.J. Davis will hold it second with an RBI double, and the Eagles take a 2-0 lead.
Nice piece of hitting, and he put that ball out there way over the right fielder's head. And then he had problems because that ball skipped to the right after it hit the fence. And if E.J. is looking at Coach, he's at third right now.
Yeah, I think that will be a conversation at the end of this half of the inning. Is EJ easily had third base there on that ball. Hollingshead turned and gave chase, but had no chance at that. The second double of the ball game, and now a 2-0 lead is Zavala, the speedy Zavala, all the way around from first base to score the second run.
Coach got his Pilates in on that wave around.
Yeah, pitch to Landon Heil, low for ball 1. Heil was hit by a pitch in his first appearance. Was left stranded at first base. He had the windmill cranking from go. The 1-0 pitch to Landon Heil. And Landon takes it, lays off of it, and a tough pitch to lay off, but a good job. And now 2-0 the count as it just missed off the outside corner. And the ump has stayed there. He has stayed true there in the first 3 innings here, but now a time on the field again. Looked like maybe a bat was outside. One of the coaches came out. 2-0 the count to Landon Heil. E.J. Davis leads off second. The 2-0 pitch. That one misses low. 3-0 the count now to Landon Heil with Reese Bell on deck. Landon Heil, 1 out and a runner at second base. A 3-0 count. Garcia looked back at Davis. Now the 3-0 pitch. Heil takes it all the way for a called strike. 3-1 now the count. 28 pitches thrown through 2 innings for E.J. Garcia. 17 in the first, 11 in the second. Now some more pitches coming here as the Eagles try to do more work in the third. The 3-1 pitch, and Landon Heil hits it into left center field. The left fielder not going to have a chance for it. It gets past Janner. Here comes E.J. Davis around third. He's going to score. He's being sent home. and it's an RBI double for Landon Heil, your right fielder, and the Eagles lead it 3-0.
Nice piece of hitting there. And we said earlier, runs are going to be at a premium, so you get runners in scoring position, driving them in like that is just absolutely crucial tonight.
And it all starts. You talk about that, Kelly, get the base runners, and it all started 1 out, a base runner on a hit by pitch. Now you got a runner on, a speedy runner. Zach Zavala comes in to run for him. A double scores that run. Davis on second, Landon Heil, a double scores that run. And so just putting that pressure on this Canyon Cougar defense early on, and something you've got to be prepared for and do the whole game, because this Canyon Cougar team will do the same.
And Garcia's not throwing bad pitches. Georgetown's just been able to get to several of them.
Bell 0 for 1 in the ball game. First pitch. Breaking pitch. Catches the outside corner. First called strike. 0-1 the count to Reese Bell. He popped out to the second baseman over in shallow left center field in his first at bat. Steps in here with 1 out and a runner at second base. The 0-1 pitch. The runner off to third. Landon Heil will dive in safely. Stolen base. And there's the pressure being applied by these Eagles that Coach Vieira talks about. Want to get runners on base and move them around and put pressure on this defense.
Now Reese just needs to send something into the outfield, score another run.
0-2 the count now to Reese Bell. Reese just needs to get some contact on this. 1 out. The corner's now playing up for the Cougars. The 0-2 pitch, and Bell sends this one down the first baseline. The first baseman, Canalico, ranges over, but he can't make the play up against the foul fence. Hopefully he's all right. He kind of banged into that. You saw the chain link fence kind of give way. The big first baseman seems to be all right, just frustrated with himself. Reese Bell stays alive, no balls and 2 strikes. Appreciate Canalico's parents. I talked to them before the game, getting some enunciations of names. And it was his parents I talked to, and he is a big first baseman.
So on the defense, they had the shift over where the second baseman was over on the third base side of second base.
Bell sends this one foul down the first base line, stays alive, 0-2.
And now Reese is hitting things opposite field, and they moved him back.
Second baseman back on his right side of the bag.
Kill the shift.
Kill it.
Kill the shift.
Reese Bell making him be honest. The 0-2 pitch. And Bell sends this one into left center field, and it's a shot. The center fielder giving chase, but it's off the wall. It's going to be an RBI double for Reese Bell. I thought he had a tank. Oh, baby.
So close.
It went off the Georgetown Eagle beak in left center field. The center fielder, Wyman, actually thought it was out of here. It hits off the wall, and Reese Bell has an RBI double, the third double of the inning. All RBIs for the Eagles. And now 4-0 lead, and here comes a visit from the Canyon Cougar coaching staff.
Great hitting in this inning by the Eagles. Three hits have driven in 3 runs. And, boy, this is what you really need against this Canyon team.
Let's take a quick timeout. We'll be back with more Eagle baseball here on SHN in just a moment. Back to action here in the bottom of the third. 3 runs across so far in the inning for the Eagles. 1 out. Runner at second base is an RBI double provider in Reese Bell. Now starts Logan Smith. He'll square the bunt down the third baseline. If it'll stay fair, it may be a base hit, and it is an infield single. Reese Wheels Bell moves up to third base.
You took it. I was about to fire that one.
Reese moves up to third on the infield single, the bunt single by Logan Smith. The Garza, the third baseman, had 1 opportunity, and it still didn't look good, and just unable to make the play.
I'm going to have to get Reese a shirt. Just say Wheels.
Wheels Bell.
Super sophomore up.
Riley Leininger steps in with 1 out and runners on first and third. Logan Smith leads off first. Canalico holds him on there. Reese Wills Bell leads off third base.
Logan's fixing to steal.
I was going to say, Logan's going to take off, you would think, at some point. The first pitch to Leininger. Leininger, a big swing and a miss. Strike one. Struck out looking in his first at bat, 0 for 1 in the ball game.
That's a pitch. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
That's a pitch Riley likes, and I bet he wishes he had that one back because we've seen him drive those.
Pickoff attempt to first base. Logan Smith dives back in. And what a job there. Logan Smith, as the doubles had been 3 in a row for this Eagle team, the defense playing back a little bit. He lays down the perfect bunt for the infield single. Another pickoff attempt. Logan Smith dives back in safely as Canalico makes the play, throws it back into Garcia. Smith gets a good lead at first. Canalico holds him on. Bell off third. The 0-1 pitch to Leininger, and he puts it into left center field. Another beautiful ball hit out, but it's going to be made by the left fielder, Janner. Bell unable to tag up. He thought it was going to be down, so he kind of took off but had to come back.
Just disappointing that we didn't get to see Wheels make that run down the baseline.
F7 for Leininger, second out of the inning, and that'll bring up Eli Hellman. He struck out swinging back in the second inning. And Eli steps in here with 2 outs and runners on the corners. Logan Smith leads off first. Looks like he may take off here. Oh, Garcia stepped off, and Logan Smith was off on movement. He gets back to first.
Coach telling him when he breathes, go.
Logan leads off again. Eli Hellman from the right side. Now a pickoff attempt. Smith dives back in. He's safe at first base. Canalico with the slap tag.
The quick twitch.
3 runs on 4 hits so far here in the third inning. 4-0 your score. The first pitch as Smith takes off. The throw down, it'll be cut off. Nope, they let it go all the way through. But Logan Smith slides in safely. Got him around the tag.
Yeah.
And I almost, in that kind of situation, I think the players may have dinked the umpire.
I think so.
He's expecting the cutoff. And here comes the coach to talk about that. But you change the view where the ball's being watched by the umpire. And Logan Smith credited for the stolen base.
I thought he was out.
Eli Hellman waits here. Not sure what the pitch count or pitch was called. Two outs, 2 runners on now, second and third base. So both in scoring position. A base hit here by by Eli Hellman would surely score 2 runs. The first pitch was called a ball, the 1-0 pitch. And Hellman drives it out, third baseman on a hop. Garza takes his time, throws across the diamond in time for the third down of the inning. 5-3 on the putout, but not before the Eagles put up 4 runs on 5 hits. No errors and 2 runners left on base. After 3 innings, 4-0, Georgetown leads it over New Braunfels Canyon. Back with more Eagle baseball on SHN in just a moment. We go to the top of the 4th inning. 4 runs on 5 hits, no errors for your Eagles. No runs on 1 hit, and no errors for the Cougars. Here in the top of the 4th, they'll bring up the 2, 3, and 4 hitters. The only hit of the ballgame was from Villanueva as he steps in here, and he almost wears the first pitch. It's a ball. He had a single with one out in the top of the first inning. Steps in here to lead things off. 1-0 the pitch. And it's called a strike on the check swing. The catcher, Mazik, wanted to check down to first base, but the umpire said he broke the plane. So 1-1 count to Villanueva.
I got to wish my son Jesse a happy 22nd birthday today.
Jesse
My
Duvall.
my man child.
The 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Beautiful breaking pitch there by Silva. Jesse Duvall. None like him. Good kid. Happy birthday, Jesse. 1-2 the count. Just misses outside in the turf. 2-2 now the count to Villanueva.
I don't know what the football team was doing. They walked through and walked out. I guess they. There we go.
2-2 pitch. And a ground ball down the third baseline. Just foul. Villanueva stays alive in the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Silva through 3 innings. 35 pitches thrown. In turn, look at the last inning for Garcia. Now up to 52 pitches through 3 innings. The 2-2 pitch fouled off. I thought Mazik doubled over from pain, but quickly turned around to grab the ball.
Coach Vieira out of the dugout to retrieve that ball off the screen with the blazing speed. Just
Uh-oh. Coach Vieira giving the warning. We'll have to clear out under the stands. Not a safe spot to be. 2-2 the count to Villanueva. Silva from the windup. The 2-2 pitch outside corner. Just misses for ball 3. Villanueva draws a full count after being down quickly. 0-2 in the count. The payoff pitch from Silva. And a ground ball out to the left of the mound. Hellman on the run. Fields it. Throws on a dime. What a play. Eli Hellman, his second beautiful defensive play of the ball game. 6-3 in the book for out number 1. And that'll bring up the catcher, Robbie Lopez. He grounded out to the third baseman in the first inning. He steps in here with 1 out. Canalico, the first baseman on deck for the Cougars. The first pitch, swing and a miss. Strike 1. 0-1 the count to Lopez. The 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Strike 2. And now the coach calls an offensive timeout to talk to Lopez. Nick Silva dealing for the Eagles here in the 4th inning of work. He's only allowed 1 hit, struck out 2 in his 3 innings of work to this point, 3 1/3 innings. 0-2 the count now to Robbie Lopez, the catcher. Silva from the windup, the 0-2 pitch. Ground ball foul down the third baseline into the Georgetown dugout. Count stays no balls and 2 strikes. 2 strikes to Robbie Lopez. Girls assistant basketball coach Jaron Vieira, brother of head coach Jordan Vieira, in the dugout tonight, cheering on the boys. The 0-2 pitch misses just outside for ball 1. 1-2 the count now to Lopez. Congrats to Jaron and his wife on their new baby just about 3 or 4 weeks ago, right after Cedar Park when the Eagles clinched share of the district title. The 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Third strikeout of the night for Nick Silva. And the second out here in the top of the 4th for the Cougars. That'll bring up the first baseman, Will Canalico. He's 0 for 1 of the ball game. He lined out to the left fielder, Klaus Keismore, in his first appearance. Steps in here with the bases empty and 2 outs. Silva from the windup. The first pitch, outside corner, just misses for ball 1. Silva back on the mound. 1-0 the count to Canalico. The 1-0 pitch. This one misses low and inside for ball 2. 2-0 to Canalico, the big lefty first baseman. Canalico back in there. The 0-2 pitch. And now the umpire takes it off the shin. Mazik will walk out, meet with his pitcher, and here comes Chad Hennessy, the athletic trainer for the Eagles, to check on the umpire. That one hurt Square off the bat, right off the umpire's leg. 2-1 to count to Canalico. The home plate umpire in some serious pain. We'll take a quick break while the umpire, they check on him, make sure he's all right. Back with more Eagle baseball in just a moment. Back to action here. The home plate umpire, all right, tries to walk that one off. That one will definitely leave a mark. He'll feel it in the morning. 2-1 to count to Canalico. Silva from the windup. The ball hit into right field. It'll be a base hit as Heil comes up with it. Canalico, the second hit of the night for the Cougars. A 2-out single to right field. That'll bring up Isaac Wyman.
Just a good-looking swing from a aesthetics standpoint. Head down, straight stride forward, swing through the ball. Just pretty swing.
Wyman steps in here, the center fielder. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. Struck out swinging in the second inning. First pitch, swing and a miss. Good to see a lot of the football players filing in here after their blue and white scrimmage. Over here to support the baseball team here in round 3 of the playoffs.
Those kids are probably very glad spring football's over.
Absolutely. The heat gets to turn up here the next couple of months as they get ready to come back for two-a-days. The 0-1 pitch outside.
Hotter than just a little bit at 6 o'clock when they had that game going.
But something to prepare for. You're going to see that in August and September when these boys hit the gridiron. 7 o'clock games. It's going to be nice and toasty. The 1-1 pitch into Wyman. Swing and a miss. Off balance in that swing as well as Lopez. He got 0-2 count on an off balance swing, and coach talked to him, and the same thing seen there by Wyman. Nick Silva doing a good job keeping him off balance. Canalico leads off. The 1-2 pitch misses outside for ball 2. 2-2 now the count.
Well, a 4-0 lead, too. Silva doesn't have to worry so much about the runners. I mean, he's not going to ignore them, but not that big of a concern right now with a 4-run lead.
The 2-2 pitch, and a ball hit out towards second. A couple of hops. E.J. Davis will flip it over to Hellman for the out. 4-6 on the putout. For out number 3, and the Cougars go quietly here in the top of the 4th. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and a runner left on base. We go to the bottom of the 4th, 4-0. Georgetown leads it over the Cougars. More Eagle baseball on SHN in just a moment. To the bottom of the 4th inning. 4-0. Georgetown leads it. A run in the first, 3 runs in the third. And they step up here in the bottom of the 4th. Nick Silva, Ty Klaus Keismore, and Zachary Mazik do up for the Eagles. Silva 0 for 1 in the ball game, a ground out in his first appearance. Takes this one on the inside corner for a called strike. 52 pitches through 3 innings by E.J. Garcia. He's back on for his 4th inning of work. for the Cougars. The 0-1 pitch. Misses for ball one. 1-1 to count.
That was not a bad pitch. Tough to lay off of.
1-1 to count to Silva now. The 1-1 pitch. A swing and a miss on the breaking pitch. 1-2 the count now to Nick Silva. Not often you see this tonight like you see tonight this ball game. Both pitchers batting in the ball game as well. Silva in there now. 1-2. And Silva makes contact, fouls it off back to the screen, stays alive in the at-bat. Klaus Geismore on deck. He grounded out to the third baseman, Garza, back in the third inning. Silva back in the box. Garcia from the windup, the 1-2 pitch, and Silva puts it into right center field, and that's going to be a base hit for the pitcher Silva. He's going to round first. He's headed to second base. It gets all the way to the wall, and Silva will stroll into second base with a leadoff double for the Eagles, and that'll be a courtesy runner on for Silva, the pitcher.
There's that cannon arm. Again, from the fence, he threw it and two-hopped it to the third baseman.
Wade Denton will come on to run for the pitcher, Nick Silva. The 6th hit of the ball game for the Eagles. 5 of those 6, Kelly, have been extra base hits in the form of all doubles.
I got him. You love that.
In steps Klaus Geismore. He's 0 for 1 in the ballgame. Wade Denton on to run for the pitcher, Nick Silva, at second base with no outs. The Eagles continue to try to do work here to pile on from the third inning. Garcia from the stretch. Klaus Geismore squares around a bunt. He pops it up. The catcher, E.J. Garcia, makes a great play. And that's been a trend for these Eagles lately, popping up these bunts and costing themselves outs. And that's a costly one there. You have a leadoff double, and now 1 out. You don't move the runner. And that'll bring up Zachary Mazik.
That bunt, you got to keep the head of the bat above the handle of the bat. And Ty went down and reached out and down with the head of the bat to try to put that ball in play. And you get the pop
Here's
up.
the respect you get used to with Zachary Mazik. The crowd doesn't like it. We'll turn up the crowd mic. They boo the coach for Canyon. He walks out of the dugout, talks to the home plate umpire, and intentionally walks Zachary Mazik.
That's smart.
He doubled in the first, was hit by a pitch in the third inning, and now intentionally walked in the fourth.
Now you make him pay for it.
And now on to run, Zach Zavala, the courtesy runner for the catcher Mazik. Wade Denton, the courtesy runner for Silva at second. 1 out. E.J. Davis, 1 for 2 in the ball game. He's got 2 RBIs, a double, scored a run. Steps in here. First pitch, and E.J. Davis is going to put it into right field. The second baseman tries to make the play in time and does. What a play. He was almost over at second base himself, but a great play there by Villanueva to field it and throw E.J. out. The runners move up to second and third, but now 2 outs. I thought that one was going to drift out into right field. But what a play by the second baseman, Villanueva.
And he did a good job of not worrying about any of the other runners, just getting that out at first, which is a big out for the Cougars.
So runners at second and third. Landon Heil steps in. He's 1 for 1 on the ball game. Takes this one outside for ball 1. Heil was hit by a pitch in the first inning. Had an RBI double in the third, stole third base, and then scored a run. On the RBI double by Reese Bell. Steps in here with 2 runners in scoring position and 2 outs. The 1-0 pitch in there for a called strike. 1-1 to count to Landon Heil. Reese Bell waits on deck for the Eagles.
Nice pitch in the lower half of the zone, inside a little bit. It's a tough pitch to do anything with, really.
The 1-1 pitch to Heil. And Heil sends this into left field. The left fielder stands put, doesn't have to move, and makes the catch for out number 3. So the Eagles are down here in the bottom of the 4th. No runs on 1 hit. No errors and 2 runners left on. We go to the top of the 5th. 4-0 your score. Georgetown leads it over New Braunfels Canyon. Back with more Eagle baseball in just a moment.
Easy.
I'll never forget the day I decided to go out for the football team. Mr. Banks, the JV football coach and my history teacher, asked me to stay after class. I thought I was in trouble. He said, "Hey, Darius, Have you thought about going out for football? I think you'd be great. Fact is, I never played football. Fact is, I never had anyone tell me I'd be great at something. So, with no experience at all, I signed up. And a week later, I padded up and was running drills on the field. I never was great, but playing high school sports was one of the greatest experiences of my life. I was accepted by my teammates, and I learned that when someone believes in you, you can believe in yourself.
Encourage a student you know to take part in a high school sport. This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Go to the top of the 5th inning. Nick Silva back on to work for the Eagles. First pitch to the left fielder, Janner, just misses outside for ball 1. 57 pitches through 4 innings for Silva. 2 hits allowed, no runs, no errors for the Eagles. This one fisted out towards third base. Logan Smith cuts it off. He'll throw on the run, and what a throw. Reese Bell, what a play. Janner out on the tag by Bell. What a heads-up play by the big first baseman. 5-3 on the putout.
Then the sniper got him when he ran past the bag and fell.
The turf monster grabbed the shoe of the lefty Janner. 5-3 on the putout. Logan Smith, a great play there. Brings up Chandler Banks. He struck out swinging his first at bat. 0 for 1 in the ball game. 1 out here in the top of the 5th. Silva from the windup. This one just misses inside for ball 1. Tell you what, that ball gets to Eli Hellman. There's no chance to get Janner on that play. Great play by Logan Smith.
A lot of speed down that base path.
1-0. This one on the inside corner. Call it a strike. Evens out the count at 1-1. But Janner quickly out of the box down the line. But Logan Smith making the good play. His momentum taking him towards first base. And the good play by Reese Bell. The 1-1 pitch, and that's going to hit him. Oh, and the home plate umpire didn't like that. Chandler Banks, he's going to get a warning from the umpire. He threw his bat down and yelled something at Silva. It's called 1 for 2 at that point. You've already hit 2 of our batters. Silva obviously not trying to give up free runners right now. But the umpire standing in between Chandler Banks, the designated hitter, and the pitcher, Nick Silva. He kind of gave him that hand up like, hey, calm down. About the easiest way to get yourself run out of a baseball game at the high school level is to try to start fighting. So Chandler Banks unhappy, down to first base. The first batter hit by a pitch by Silva. 1 runner on with 1 out. And in steps E.J. Garcia, the pitcher. First pitch, ground ball out to third. And a high hop's going to get into left field over the head of Logan Smith. The 3rd hit of the ball game. And that's where the turf comes back to get you there. As Logan Smith playing up almost even with the bag, and that high hop gets over his head.
You don't want to give up the run, and you want to be able to maybe turn the double play, so you got the infielders playing a little slightly more in Canyon batter made him pay for that.
Preston Wilder, the courtesy runner for the pitcher. E.J. Garcia down at first base. 3rd hit of the ball game for the Cougars. Has runners on first and second with 1 out. And that'll bring up the third baseman, Bryce Garza. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. He was gunned out by Eli Hellman on a beautiful play in the 3rd inning. Steps in here with 1 out and runners on first and second. Garza steps in and then calls time and steps back out. Looks back down to the coach and now will settle back in the box from the right side. 1 out here in the top of the 5th. Runners on first and second. Silva pitches. The ball grounded out towards short. Hellman fields it. His only play is going to be across the first and in time for out number 2. 6-3 on the put out. Now runners at the corner, or runners at second and third with 2 outs for the Canyon Cougars. Good play there by Eli Hellman, and that brings up the top of the lineup. That'll be Blake Hollingshead. He's 0 for 2 in the ball game. 2 ground outs to the third baseman, Logan Smith. First time the Cougars have had a base runner to second base or third base in the ball game. The first pitch to Hollingshead misses inside for ball 1. 1-0 the count to Hollingshead. Silva comes set from the stretch. The 1-0 pitch. Breaking pitch just misses inside. 2-0 the count. Trip Villanueva, second baseman on deck for the Cougars. And after 2 pitches, Coach Vieira steps out. And he'll put Hollingshead on first with the intentional walk. That'll have the bases loaded with 2 outs as Trip Villanueva steps in. He singled in the first, grounded out to Eli Hellman in the fourth inning. Steps in here with bases loaded and 2 outs. The first pitch in there for a called strike. 0-1 to count to Villanueva. Robbie Lopez, the catcher, on deck for the Cougars. Silva set from the stretch. The 0-1 pitch and fouled off back to the screen. 0-2 the count now to Villanueva. Silva way ahead in the count. Villanueva steps back in from the right side. Base is full. The 0-2 pitch. Ground ball out towards short. Hellman will field it. He'll throw to E.J. Davis at second base in time for out number 3. And the Eagles get out of the top of the 5th with no damage given up. No runs on 1 hit. No errors and 2 runners left on base. We go to the bottom of the 5th, 4-0. Georgetown leads it. Back with more Eagle baseball in a moment.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Texas. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
To the bottom of the 5th inning. Reese Bell leads it off for the Eagles. Bell, Smith, and Leininger 2 up here. 4-0 your score. Bases loaded with 2 outs there in the top of the 5th, and the Eagles get out of trouble. Reese Bell, first pitch, swinging, fouls it off back to the backstop. What a good job there. Don't let Hollingshead do work with 2 runners on. Intentionally walk him after a 2-0 count, and then Villanueva grounds out for out number 3. The 0-1 pitch. Bell, see if he checked his swing.
Oh.
And the first base umpire says he did not.
Wow.
No, 0-2. So Reese Bell down in the count now. No balls and 2 strikes. The 0-2 pitch. Bell does not chase there. Takes it outside for ball 1. 1-2 the count. Bell 1 for 2 on the night. An RBI double in the 3rd. Steps in here to lead things off in the bottom of the 5th. The 1-2 pitch misses low and inside. Count runs even now. 2 balls and 2 strikes. E.J. Garcia still on the mound for the Cougars. The 2-2 pitch. Bell hits it into left field, and now 2 for 3 on the night. A double and a single for Reese Wills Bell.
Wheels wanting to be the interview after the game.
His second hit of the ball game, 7th of the night for the Eagles. Logan Smith steps in. He's 1 for 2 in the ball game. Struck out swinging in the first, singled in the 3rd, and stole second base. Was left stranded there. Steps in here with no outs and a runner on first. Garcia from the stretch. The first pitch to Smith. Squares the bunt, but takes it. I don't know if he didn't pull the bunt back or he called that strike a pitch, but it was over the batter's box line. So Smith may not have got his bat pulled back nonetheless. 0-1 the count to Logan Smith. The 0-1 pitch. Squared a bunt, and he misses at that one. In the count, 0-2 now to Logan Smith. Here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Eagles lead it by 4. 1 run in the first, 3 in the third. Bell leads off first, held on by Canalico. The 0-2 pitch, ground ball foul down the third baseline. Fielded by the dugout. 0-2, still the count to Logan Smith. Tomorrow night's ball game, 7 o'clock, first pitch at New Braunfels Canyon High School in New Braunfels, Texas. If you can't join us, be here on SHN, 6:30 pregame, 7 o'clock first pitch. The 1-2 pitch, or the 0-2 pitch, slashed down the first baseline, out of play. Count stays 0-2. Any update on the Lady Eagles lately, Kelly?
Tied in the bottom of the 8th.
Oh, wow. Game number 1 from Marion High School. Logan Smith will take a timeout here and step out, reset with 0-2. The count here with no outs in the bottom of the 5th. A runner at first. A leadoff single to left field by Reese Wheelsbell. Leads off first. Canalico holds him on. The 0-2 pitch. And a ball slashed down the left field line, but pulled foul. And what a good at-bat here by Logan Smith. Three foul balls, 0-2 count, still battling.
Somebody thought their vehicle was safe down there. Might not be.
Outside the tailgate area, may have some damage. The 0-2 pitch, and Smith pops this one up down the third baseline. Garza gives pursuit. The shortstop, Ortiz, gives pursuit, but it's going to drift out of play. Logan Smith win a battle here with Garcia.
Jared just waved his armpits with his cap, getting the crowd fired up. That was hilarious.
Logan back in there from the right side. Bell leads off first. Garcia takes his time, and Logan calls timeout, resets himself. You'd love to see it. If you're not ready, if you're not comfortable and they're taking too long, the Eagle hitters doing a good job. New Braunfels has done the same thing. The hitters making sure they're settled in, ready to go. The 0-2 pitch, and Smith slaps it down the third baseline. Foul. Stays alive. That's the 5th foul ball. The next pitch will be the 8th of the at-bat. So a good job here by Logan as we get into this bottom of the 5th inning, drawing more and more pitches out of the starter, E.J. Garcia.
8 pitches and the count's 0-2.
Great job by Logan. The 0-2 pitch. Misses outside. They'll throw back down behind Bell. But unable to get him. He dives back in safely. 1-2 now the count to Logan Smith. On deck, super sophomore Riley Leininger. The 1-2 pitch to Logan. And Logan pops it up on the left side into foul territory. The third baseman, Garza, drifts into foul territory and makes the play. 4 out number 1, P5 in the book. And that'll bring up Riley Leininger. He's 0 for 2 in the ball game. A strikeout looking and a fly ball to the left fielder. Steps in here with 1 out and a runner down at first base. Bell will lead off first. Canalico holds him on. Leininger in from the left side. Ready to go. Garcia's first pitch. Leininger takes it low for ball 1. 1-0 the count to Riley Leininger. 62 pitches through 4 innings for Garcia coming into this inning. Here in the bottom of the 5th. The 1-0 pitch. Leininger lays off. Takes it for ball 2.
Ooh, that was close. I thought that was going to be strike 1.
Now a 2-0 count to the DH, Riley Leininger. Bell off first. Leininger back in ready. The 2-0 pitch. Up and away, ball 3.
I'm going to be baseball nerd for a minute, but, man, I love these throwback uniforms. They look so good.
First time we've seen them in a while here in this season. First time in the playoffs. The Ivory Whites, the 3-0 count. Leininger takes it. Thought that was more borderline than more of a ball than the second pitch. But now a called strike makes it a 3-1 count to Leininger with 1 out. Here in the bottom of the 5th. Garcia comes set, the 3-1 pitch. Leininger takes it high and outside for ball 4.
Riley didn't look comfortable in his first 2 at-bats. He looked a little more comfortable with the pitches that he's seeing from this guy. Now it's the 3rd time he's seen him.
That'll bring up Eli Hellman. He's 0 for 2 in the ball game. A strikeout and a ground out. Steps in here with runners on first and second. 1 out. Bell down to second. Leininger at first. Nick Silva on deck for the Eagles. Garcia look back at second. The first pitch to Hellman. Outside corner. And we're starting to see that outside corner start expanding a little bit.
Umpire may be hungry or have a late dinner reservation.
Maybe that leg hurts a little much. It's time to go. 0-1 and fouled off. Back out of play. 0-2 now the call. But you see it, and that's a typical thing you see in a game. The pitchers continue to work the corners, and it kind of stretches that zone a little bit as he gets into the later innings. And now an 0-2 count to Eli Hellman. Runners on first and second with 1 out. Here in the bottom of the 5th, 4-0. Georgetown leads it. Foul tip into the glove of the catcher for strike 3. And the Hellman down for out number 2. That'll bring up Nick Silva. He's 1 for 2 in the ball game. 4th strikeout of the ball game for E.J. Garcia. Silva's last at bat, a double. To right center field. Steps in here with 2 outs and runners on first and second. The first pitch to Silva. Misses low and outside for ball 1. The 1-0 pitch. Silva lays off and takes it for a called strike. 1-1 the count now. Ty Klaus Geismore on deck for the Eagles. Should Silva extend the inning? The 1-1 pitch. Silva pops it up. Back behind the plate. And it's off the clamshell. As you hear from the crowd's reaction.
I was watching it. About 50% of them did that little the flinch.
1-2 now the count to Silva with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Runners on first and second. Garcia looks back to second base. The 1-2 pitch. Silva fouls it off, back out of play, stays alive. 1-2 the count. The Lady Eagles, game 1 tonight, started at 6 p.m. Victoria West High School at Marion High School is where they're playing this series. Tomorrow, a 3 p.m. start for game 2, and game 3 immediately following if necessary in the regional semifinals. The 1-2 pitch, Silva, strike 3 called. And the 5th inning comes to an end for the Eagles. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, 2 runners left on base. After 5 innings, 4-0 your score. Georgetown leads New Braunfels Canyon. Back with more Eagle baseball after this on SHN.
I'll never forget the day I decided to go out for the football team. Mr. Banks, the JV football coach and my history teacher, asked me to stay after class. I thought I was in trouble. He said, "Hey, Darius, have you thought about going out for football? I think you'd be great." Fact is, I never played football. Fact is, I never had anyone tell me I'd be great at something. So, with no experience at all, I signed up. And a week later, I padded up and was running drills on the field. I never was great, but playing high school sports was one of the greatest experiences of my life. I was accepted by my teammates, and I learned that when someone believes in you, you can believe in yourself.
Encourage a student you know to take part in a high school sport. This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
We go to the top of the 6th inning, 4-0. The Georgetown Eagles lead it over the New Braunfels Canyon Cougars. The 3, 4, and 5 hitters due up here in the 6th for the Cougars. And the first pitch swinging. Lopez, the catcher, sends it into right center field. And Petty ranges over and makes the catch for out number 1. F8 in the book.
This deep into the game, you sure would like to see Nick get out of this with not throwing very many pitches.
No runs, 3 hits, no errors for the Cougars. 4 runs, 7 hits, no errors for the Eagles. 69 pitches through 5 innings for Silva, as he faces off now against the first baseman, Will Canalico. First pitch inside for ball 1. 1-0 the count. Canalico 1 for 2 in the ball game. Lined out to Klaus Keismore in left field in the first inning. Had a single and got cut down at second base on a force play in his last at bat. Fouls this one off, and he comes up limping there as he hit it off of his left leg. And walk that one off. 1-1 the count now to Canalico. Big lefty first baseman. He'll step back in from the left side. Nick Silva works out of the windup. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Here in the top of the 6th. The 1-1 pitch. Just misses.
That was close.
Coach Vieira asking where'd that miss. The same kind of pitch you saw against Nick Silva there for strike 3. Coach Vieira wanting the same in kind. The 2-1 pitch skips off the turf. Now 3-1 the count to Canalico. Isaac Wyman, the center fielder, on deck. The 3-1 pitch misses low for ball 4. A walk issued to Canalico.
Very uncharacteristic walk of Nick. He hasn't walked a lot of batters this year.
First walk of the night. I believe on the intentional walk, you don't count that against him. He had a 2-0 count against Hollingshead, and they intentionally walked him at that point. So the first walk issued by Silva. Has a runner aboard with 1 out. Wyman steps in, the center fielder. He's 0 for 2 in the ball game. First pitch swinging, sends it into left field. Klaus Keismore turns and makes a run, and it's going to one-hop off the wall. He fields it barehanded, throws it in. Canalico will get to third base, but he'll stop there. And it'll be a 1-out double by Wyman. A beautiful hit there. One hops the wall in left field. Now runners on second and third with 1 out. Here in the top of the 6th, that'll bring up Evan Janner, the left fielder. He's 0 for 2 in the ball game. A line out to Heil in right, a ground out to Logan Smith at third base in the 5th inning. Smith up on the grass at third. The first pitch up the middle. It's going to be a base hit into center field, and Petty scoops it up. He's going to come up throwing. It'll be cut off by Bell, and they'll hold up Wyman at third base. So runners on the corners with 1 out. An RBI single by Janner puts the first run on the board for the Cougars. 4-1 now the score.
Canyon hitters have caught up to Nick's stuff that he's throwing right now. It's difficult to tell from here, but he may be losing a little bit of his velocity, and Coach is going to come out and have a chat with him.
Here comes Coach Chad Payne, and we'll take a timeout with him. We're in the top of the 6th inning. 4-1 your score. Canyon has runners on the corners with 1 out. Quick timeout. Back with more Eagle Baseball on SHN.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Texas. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Payne heads back to the dugout. In steps Chandler Banks, the designated hitter for the Cougars. 1 out, runners on the corners. Here in the top of the 6th, 4-1. The first pitch to Banks, hops in there. Mazik blocks it out in front of the plate. Good block there. Banks 0 for 1 on the night.
It's time for that 6-4-3 double play and get out of this.
Banks struck out in the second, was hit by a pitch and left stranded in the 5th inning. The 1-0 pitch from Silva. It's in there for a called strike. 1-1 to count. Silva has scattered 5 hits, allowing 1 run. It was earned. Struck out 3, walked 1, hit 1 batter so far here through 5 1/3 innings. A pickoff attempt, just an easy throw over.
Keep them honest.
And Janner dives back in. 1 run across here in the top of the 6th for the Cougars. Cuts it to a 3-run lead for the Eagles. Silva comes set. Another pickoff attempt. Good scoop there by Bell.
Oh, man.
Silva not throwing over on a quick, hard attempt, but in that, then kind of short hops that throw over, and Bell blocks it, keeps it in front of him, which is very important with the runner down at third base and only 1 out.
Need to hit him in the chest.
A 1-1 play, and here's the ball out to shortstop. Hellman makes the error, the first error of the ball game for either team. That'll score the run from third, and now runners on first and second. There's that tailor-made 6-4-3 double play ball.
I thought I called it.
And Hellman bobbled it. I went to get it, and as he went to make the throw, drops it. And that's going to be it for Nick Silva as Coach Jordan Vieira comes out of the dugout. We'll take a timeout. 4-2 your score here in the top of the 6th. More Eagle baseball in a moment on SHN. Wade Denton on the pitch here for the Eagles in relief.
Wade's 4-0 on the season. He's got an ERA of .424 with 38 strikeouts and 13 bases on balls.
2 saves on the year, an opportunity here for a third. Both runners on, first and second, both the responsibility of Silva. The first pitch to E.J. Garcia will come after a pickoff attempt back to second base. Janner gets back in there. Tag applied by Hellman. 5 1/3 innings. Pitch for Nick Silva. He threw 80 pitches. Gave up 2 runs, both earned. Struck out 3, walked 1. First pitch in there, called strike to E.J. Garcia. 0-1 to count. E.J. 1 for 2 on the night. Pop out to the shortstop in the 3rd inning. And a base hit in the 5th, left stranded at second base. Steps in here with 1 out, runners on first and second. Wade Denton, the 0-1 pitch, and a ball hit into center field. Andon Petty comes charging in. He'll slide, but he can't make the catch, but they'll have the out at second base. E.J. Davis doesn't cover the base. Eli Hellman tries to make a great play, but E.J. Davis went out to center field. Instead of covering the base, no one covered it. They would have had the runner from first base as he had to tag up thinking the catch was going to be made. And they're going to see if that's an error.
We said earlier, even before in the pregame, even talking about how Canyon had made some errors this season that were costly, and now we're seeing Georgetown make that's 2 errors on the Eagles.
2 in a row, has the bases loaded with 1 out. Janner at third, Banks at second, E.J. Garcia at first. Garza steps in. He's grounded out twice, 0 for 2 in the night. The third baseman steps in. First pitch from Denton. Misses just inside for ball 1. 2 errors in a row by the Eagles. Made this one super interesting. 4-2 your score. Georgetown leads by 2. 2 runs here in the top of the 6th for the Cougars. Denton comes set. The 1-0 pitch. In there for a called strike. 1-1 to count. Denton comes set. The 1-1 pitch. Up and in. Ball 2. 2-1 to count now. To Garza, the third baseman. Two balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Denton comes set. The 2-1 pitch. Misses low. 3-1 to count now.
I would guess the bat's going to stay on his shoulder right here.
3 balls, 1 strike. Bases loaded with 1 out. Hollingshead, the leadoff hitter, due up next for the Cougars. The 3-1 pitch. Called. No, my goodness. Called ball 4. And that'll score Janner from third base. Third run of the ball game for the Cougars.
It's a tough ball 4, man.
Bases loaded, especially in this part of the ball game. You get in that 6th inning. It's a hard pitch to lay off and a hard pitch for an umpire to call ball 4.
Heck of a time for that strike zone to tighten up for the Eagles anyhow.
Nick Silva wondering where that call was when he was at bat last in the bottom half of the 5th inning.
I was a lot more comfortable half an inning ago.
4-3 your score. Georgetown by 1. Bases loaded here for the Cougars. First pitch to Hollingshead. Misses in the turf for ball 1. Hollingshead 0 for 2 in the ball game. 2 ground outs to third base. And then was intentionally walked on a 2-0 count back in the 5th inning. Was left stranded at first. Steps in here with 1 out and bases loaded. The 1-0 pitch from Denton. And a ball popped up into the outfield. Andon Petty ranges into left center field. He's going to make the catch. He'll come up throwing. His throw will be cut off by Belt. Nope, it's going to get all the way to home, but the tying run scores from third base. Chandler Banks scores. Waves to the crowd like he's not been here before. And now the ball game is tied with 2 outs in the top of the 6th inning.
Well, now we check on that grit that the Eagles talk about.
Garcia stays at second. Garza at first. In steps Villanueva. He's 1 for 3 on the night. 2 outs. Runners at first and second. 4-4 your score. The first pitch to Villanueva. Skips in for ball 1. RBI sac fly by Hollingshead. Ties it up. The 1-0 pitch to Villanueva. Misses low. Ball 2. The 9th batter of the inning for the Cougars. Lopez started it off with a fly ball out to center field. He's on deck for the Cougars. Should they get to him? 2-0 the count to Villanueva. The 2-0 pitch. Inside corner, called strike one. 1/3 of the fans think it's a ball. The other 2/3 cheer on the strike call.
Vampires.
2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Here in the top of the 6th, the Cougars have put 4 runs on the board to tie it up. The 2-1 pitch. Misses. 4-3. 3-1 to count now. 4-trip Villanueva. Didn't come set. The 3-1 pitch. Misses low and outside. Ball 4.
Wade having a hard time finding that strike zone.
Second walk by Denton. Loads the bases back up with 2 outs. And in steps Robbie Lopez. And here comes Coach Chad Payne. He's going to go out to visit with Denton on the mound. Quick timeout. Back with more Eagle Baseball on SHN. Visit's over. Robbie Lopez steps in the box with 2 outs and bases loaded for his second at-bat of the inning. First pitch. Misses low. For a ball. Lopez 0 for 3 in the ball game. A ground out, a strikeout, and a flyout. Steps in here with an opportunity for the Cougars to take the lead. 2 outs and bases loaded. 1-0 the count. Denton comes set from the stretch. The 1-0 pitch. A ball popped up down the first baseline, but it's going to get into the first base dugout.
Wheels over there trying to make a play.
Count evens up at 1-1. Crowd right back into this one. Cougar bats pretty quiet until this inning. The 1-1 pitch. In there, called strike. 1-2 the count now to Robbie Lopez. Didn't come set. The 1-2 pitch. Ground ball out towards third. Logan Smith is going to field it on a high hop. The throw across the diamond. What a play by Logan Smith, and the Eagles get out of it. But not before the Cougars tie it up. 4 runs on just 2 hits. 2 Eagle errors, and the bases left loaded. We go to the bottom of the 6th. 4-4 your score. Eagle baseball continues on SHN in just a moment. go to the bottom of the 6th inning. E.J. Garcia still stays in the game to pitch for the Cougars here into the bottom of the 6th inning with 89 pitches thrown through 5. The 9-1 and 2 hitters due up as Klaus Keismore chases the breaking pitch for a swing and a miss. Strike one. 0-1 to count. Klaus Keismore 0 for 2 in the ball game. The 0-1 pitch. And Ty hits it out towards short. The shortstop fields it on a hop. Ortiz, the throw across the diamond in time. For out number 1, 6-3 on the putout. And that'll bring up Zachary Mazik. See if they can walk him again.
Ty doing a good job of hustling down that line because that was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be.
Zach will step in here from the left side with 1 out. 1 for 1 on the night. A double. Hit by a pitch and intentionally walked. Steps in here to face off against Garcia again. The first pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike one. 0-1 to count to Zach. E.J. Davis on deck for the Eagles. Foul ball. Out of play for strike 2.
Ty swinging that bat like he's trying to give the Eagles the lead on one swing. Now he's choking up a little bit.
0-2 count to Mazik. The 0-2 pitch. And a ball beat into the ground. And it's going to spin fair. The catcher thought it was going to spin foul. And a costly mistake there by Robbie Lopez. And it's going to be an infield single for Zachary Mazik. But Lopez thought the spin of the ball was coming off the turf back foul. And Mazik kept running hard, and it spun back into fair territory. So a 1-out infield single by Zach Mazik.
Lopez, the catcher, was looking towards the dugout, and he patted his chest like that's my fault. Now you got to make him pay for that.
Zach Zavala on to run for the catcher Mazik. E.J. Davis steps in. He's 1 for 3 on the ball game. 1 out and a runner at first. Squares around a bunt. The third baseman charges. A pickoff attempt. Zavala dives back in safely at first base.
Lady Eagles are tied 3-3 going into the 11th inning.
Wow. Top of the 11th, 3-3. What a ball game down in Marion, Texas. Another pickoff attempt. Zavala dives in. As Canalico drops the throw over. I think Zach Zavala off running at some point here as EJ squaring around a bunt very early. EJ Garcia will come set. Catcher set up in the left batter's box. It's outside for ball 1. Pitch out there thinking Zavala was going. 1-0 the count now to EJ Davis. An RBI ground out in the first, an RBI double in the second, scored a run, and then grounded out to second in the 4th inning. Pickoff attempt, Zavala dives back in safely.
This is where you want to keep him close to that bag because you do not want him moving over to second.
Zavala, dangerous runner, speedy runner.
Big lead.
The 1-0 pitch. Misses outside, ball 2. 2-0 the count to E.J. Davis. Landon Heil waits on deck. He's 1 for 2 in the ball game. With an RBI double. Stolen base, hit by a pitch. Zavala off running. The 2-0 pitch, the throw down. It's not going to be in time, and it gets off into right center field. Zach's got to run, and now Zach sees it and finally takes off to third base. The runner's not paying attention to the coach at third base. That's the second time in the ball game, and that could be costly.
I think he got some of the ground rubber in his eye. Yeah, because he's still picking at it. I think he got some in his eye, and that's why he wasn't looking over at the coach.
And now here comes a visit from the dugout. Man, what an opportunity now as Zavala gets over to third base, still second base. The throw ricochets into right center field. It's like you want that guy on third base with 1 out now. So it should have been a ball. 2-0 the count to E.J. Davis. Should be 3-0. I didn't see what that last pitch was. But a stolen base by Zach. And then a throwing. I don't know where you put that error. or if you do. But a visit to the mound. E.J. Garcia will stay in the ball game. Earlier on E.J. Davis's double, if he's watching, Coach, we talked about that. He'd have been at third base.
2-1 count.
2-1 count to E.J. Davis. And he puts it into play. It's going to get into shallow right field. And Zavala's going to score the go-ahead run, 5-4. An RBI single by E.J. Davis. He just fought that one off, and the infield was playing in. The batter's averages go up 100 points. And E.J. Davis pays off his third RBI of the ball game.
Now Landon Heil comes up. He's got an opportunity to do some more damage here. You got to just keep plugging away, plugging away, plugging away. Stay aggressive on the base pass. I would expect a potential steal attempt here, too.
Landon Heil 1 for 2 in the ball game. Hit by a pitch in the first, a double, RBI double in the third, and flew out to left field in the fourth. Steps in here with 1 out. There goes E.J. Davis. First pitch. It's low in the ground. It's a ball. And E.J. Davis still second base. And now a runner in scoring position with 1 out.
I had my Nostradamus hat on that one.
Now the second stolen base of the inning, a big one. Now another runner in scoring position here in the bottom of the 6th. The Eagles have taken a 1-run lead. Landon Heil, 1-0 the count. Pickoff attempt. E.J. Davis back in there. As Garcia throws to Villanueva. Davis standing it back at second base safely. Reese Bell on deck for the Eagles. He's 2 for 3 on the night. 1-0 the count to Heil. The 1-0 pitch will come after another look at second base, but Garcia, no throw there. Not wanting to let that runner get far away. A look at the gap between first and second base with Villanueva staying close to the bag. The 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss. Nice breaking pitch there.
Boy, he took something off of that and fooled Landon.
1-1 the count now to Landon Heil.
Way out ahead of that one.
Beautiful pitch. E.J. Garcia, the pitcher of record. 6 innings of work. 5 in the third inning so far. The 1-1 pitch, and Heil swings and misses on that one down in the turf. 1-2 the count now.
That's 2 off-speed pitches that have really fooled Landon. I think he's trying to sit on a fastball.
Landon chokes up a hair. Back in the box from the right side. 1-2 count with 1 out. A runner at second. The 1-2 pitch. Heil fights it off the handle, out towards short. Cut off by the third baseman Garza. His throw over to first in time. But that'll move E.J. Davis up to third base with 2 outs. And Reese Bell coming up. 5-3 on the put out for out number 2. And in steps Wills Bell. He's 2 for 3 on the night. Reese popped up to second baseman in the first inning. An RBI double in the third. A single in the fifth. Steps in here with an opportunity. Another base hit, scores an insurance run. It's 5-4 at this point. And they're going to intentionally.
They're going to put Reese on. Next up, we go to number 5, Logan Smith.
Oh, here we go. Back in it. They came up and asked. They're looking for the pitch count for E.J. Garcia. 99 pitches is what they have him at this point. Which I have him at 102. And so he's right at the 100-pitch mark as Reese Bell gets intentionally walked. And now runners on the corners with 2 outs. Logan Smith steps in. Logan 1 for 3 on the night.
Does that mean he cannot come in the next inning if he's over 100 pitches?
I can't remember
what the rule is.
First pitch to Logan Smith. In there for a called strike. Second intentional walk of the night for the Cougars. They walked Mazick. Reese thought they called a balk. He took off. But they had called a timeout at home plate. 0-1 to count to Logan Smith. 2 outs, runners on the corners. E.J. Davis down at third base. And Reese Bell down at first. Logan Smith is going to flare this one into center field, but the shortstop, no, he drops it. An error on the shortstop, and that'll score the 6th run of the ball game. The Canyon Cougars commit their first error of the ball game on the shortstop Ortiz. Logan Smith reaches base. E.J. Davis scores from third. Reese Bell paying attention with 2 outs, running on the contact, and that'll bring up Riley Leininger with 2 outs.
Boy, we need this super sophomore to produce right here. Canyon's played a clean game. They've done a great job in the field. Their first error tonight was a costly one.
First pitch outside for ball 1. 1-0 to Riley Leininger. So Logan Smith gets an RBI on the error. Scores E.J. Davis. 6-4 now the score. Georgetown by 2. Runners at first and second. The 1-0 pitch. It's in there for a strike. 1-1 the count.
Riley shaking his head. He wants that pitch back.
To Riley. 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. Leininger pops it up on the infield, out towards the shortstop. He ranges forward, Ortiz, and he'll make this catch for out number 3. P6 in the book, but not before the Eagles take the lead back. 2 runs on 2 hits, 1 error, 2 runners left on base. We go to the top of the 7th, 6-4. Georgetown leads it over New Braunfels. You're listening to Eagle Playoff Baseball on SHN.
I'll never forget the day I decided to go out for the football team. Mr. Banks, the JV football coach and my history teacher, asked me to stay after class. I thought I was in trouble. He said, "Hey, Darius, have you thought about going out for football? I think you'd be great." Fact is, I never played football. Fact is, I never had anyone tell me I'd be great at something. So, with no experience at all, I signed up. And a week later, I padded up and was running drills on the field. I never was great, but playing high school sports was one of the greatest experiences of my life. I was accepted by my teammates, and I learned that when someone believes in you, you can believe in yourself.
Encourage a student you know to take part in a high school sport. This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Go to the top of the 7th inning, and New Braunfels will bring up the 4, 5, and 6 hitters. Canalico leads it off. Wade Denton back in there. First pitch called strike. 0-1 the count to Canalico. He's 1 for 2 on the night. Walked and scored a run in the 6th inning, last inning. Leads off here. This pitch, slap foul. 0-2. Now the count.
I'm going to go get it.
Oh, 2 the count to Canalico. 3 outs away from a Game 1 victory for the Eagles if they can keep the Cougars off the scoreboard here in the top of the 7th. The 0-2 pitch. Ground ball out towards short. Hellman on a 2-hopper. Throw across the diamond in time. 6-3 on the putout for out number 1. That'll bring up Isaac Wyman.
Next up, number 13, Wyman.
Isaac 1 for 3 in the ball game. Steps in here with 1 out and the base is empty. The first pitch to Wyman. Inside, misses for a ball.
Ladies are going to the 12th.
Tied up 3-3.
Goodness.
The 1-0 pitch to Wyman, up and in, ball 2. 2-0 the count to the center fielder, Wyman. Struck out in the 2nd. Grounded into a fielder's choice in the 4th. And doubled and scored a run in the 6th. The 2-0 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 1. Lady Eagles 3-3 in the 12th inning. Game number 1 in Marion High School against Victoria West.
Going to be a lot of cardiac issues for the Eagle Blue tonight.
The 2-1 pitch misses low. 3-1. That means I'm giving a shout out to my doctor, Kathy Castillo. My new blood pressure medicine is working well. 3-1 to count. Here to Wyman. Denton comes set. The 3-1 pitch. Called. Where in the world? Coach Vieira not happy. Same pitch you're seeing in one part of the inning, and Coach Vieira not feeling like he's getting that same call in his half. So a 1-out walk. To Wyman. Third walk issued by Denton. Very uncharacteristic. And now steps in Evan Janner. He singled and scored a run in the 6th inning. Grounded out in the 5th and lined out in the 2nd. 1 for 3 in the ball game. The first pitch fouled off back to the screen. 0-1 to count to Evan Janner. Janner, the left-handed hitter, steps back in. Wyman leads off first, held on by Reese Bell. Denton from the stretch. The 0-1 pitch fouled off. 0-2 the count to Evan Janner. 1 out here in the top of the 7th. 6-4, the Eagles lead it by 2. Denton comes set. The 0-2 pitch. The ball hit out to first. Bell, he's going to field it. Plays the throw to second. Hellman fields it, throws across, but not in time. And it'll hit the fence and stay in. But a great play there by Reese Bell. But now coach is going to want an interference call on the play at second base. He never got down, and Hellman had to throw over him. We'll see if they get the call. But no matter what, the lead runner retired 3-6 on the putout. And Coach Vieira arguing the interference call. So Wyman cut down at second base, 3-6 for out number 2. As it sits, Janner reaches on a fielder's choice. But now 2 outs, and Chandler Banks, the designated hitter, due up here with 2 outs in the top of the 7th. Be interesting to watch that play. And
he's asking for some help.
And you know what? I give it to Coach Vieira, and I give it to the umpire. Coach Vieira argued his case long enough and well enough to have the umpire at least want to come visit that and talk with all the other umpires about that. And you may get the, I wasn't watching, I didn't see it. He's sore. Home plate umpire just taking his time. He's still sore from the foul ball.
He's like, can we please?
If it stays the same, you'll have a runner on first with 2 outs. The discussion is about the play at second base.
So whenever the runner slid into second, he lifted his left leg and caught the leg of Hellman.
That's what Coach Vieira is arguing. And they're going to call him safe. And I guarantee it's one of those, the umpires, no one is paying attention. They're paying attention to their own base. The third base umpire had nowhere to look but second. The home plate umpire could have been watching. But a call that it's going to be hard to get. That's where the second base umpire has to be watching the entire time.
Next up, number 4.
And so in steps Chandler Banks, the designated hitter. He's 0 for 2 in the ball game. Struck out in the 2nd, hit by a pitch in the 5th. Reached on an error by Hellman in the 6th and scored a run. Standing up, the crowd going crazy. The first pitch up and in, ball 1. 1-0 the count. A runner at first. Janner reached on the fielder's choice. The Cougars down to their last out. The 1-0 pitch from Denton in there. Called strike 1.
I'm so nervous.
Are you as nervous as the Dripping Springs football game last year?
Nervous as a 3-legged cat in a room full, or a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs. Yes.
The 1-1 pitch. Banks hits it out to first, and it's going to be in the right field, a base hit. Here comes Heil up with it. He'll get it in quickly. Cut off by Hellman. And now runners on first and second. That thing there, if Bell's playing in his regular position, he may feel that. When instead you're having to hold the runner on to not give second base. And that ball slashed through there for a base hit into right field. So now runners at first and second. The number 8 hitter coming up in the lineup. E.J. Garcia, the pitcher.
Our PA announcer is as nervous as I am, I believe.
The pitch to Garcia in there, called strike. 0-1 the count. To Garcia. The 0-1 pitch. A ball popped up right side of the infield. Reese Bell ranges over towards the dugout, but it's going to get out of play, and now the count, no balls and 2 strikes to E.J. Garcia. Chandler down at second base. Chandler Banks at first base. The Cougars down to their last strike here in game number 1 of this 3-game series. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Eagles lead it 6-4. Wade Denton comes set. The 0-2 pitch. Ground ball out towards short. Hellman fields it, throws the first. Ball game! Your Eagles win it 6-4 in game number 1 over the Canyon Cougars. And what a job by the Eagles. 4-run inning in the top of the 6th by the Cougars. And the Eagles answer in the bottom of the 6th with 2 runs and then shut things down here in the top of the 7th. Tomorrow, game 2, 7 p.m. at New Braunfels Canyon High School in New Braunfels, Texas. Let's take a timeout. Kelly's going to head down to the field and have a visit with Coach Vieira. And let's go with Mr. Reese Wills Bell.
Reese Wills Bell.
Quick timeout. Back with more Eagle Bay on SHN Sports. Back here live at Eagle Field, and man, I feel honored. On the night of the blue-white scrimmage, we get Coach Chuck Griffin up in the box with us. Coach, football season. Our blood was boiling today. We watched from here in the booth, and you guys had the blue-white scrimmage, the spring practice coming to an end. How are things looking for the Eagle football team?
You know, we had a really good spring. Got a lot of new faces, so we had to get out there and get some work done, and got a couple of new coaches on staff, and so it was good to get out there and get work together and keep working to get better. So we had a good spring. I
tell you what, the Instagram and Twitter have been going crazy. Drayden Dickman and some of the other players in the track season having a great year.
Yep.
Seeing Marquise Dominguez working, seeing a lot of work out of Tucker as he prepares coming into his senior year at the quarterback position. So a lot of people are going to have to step up this year. A lot of seniors lost last year, but that seems to be the trend here at Eagle football. A lot of seniors leave every year, and the juniors have to step up and make plays and lead this team.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the sign of a healthy program, you know, of guys stepping in every year and being ready to play. That's part of us having 5 football teams and kids playing, you know, and getting out in games and playing all the way through high school and being ready when it's their turn as a senior. So, yeah, we got a lot of youth coming on, and you know, I guess we got probably about 5 starters on offense and probably about 3 or 4 on defense. And everybody else going to have to step up and get ready to play.
A lot of changes that we see on the coaching staff. We got a lot of new faces coming in. Coach Patterson, the retiree, left. I guess tomorrow's is a big the
legend. We got a little send-off party for the legend, Coach Pat, tomorrow.
So a lot of new looks on the coaching staff as well for you to bring in and to accompany your coaching staff.
Yep. We got a couple familiar faces. We've got hired Tim Nickey as our defensive coordinator. Tim was here from 2012 to 2016 as our defensive line coach. Did 1 year at Cedar Park, and then he's been the defensive coordinator at Willis for the last several years. So hired him, and he's back at as our defense coordinator, doing a great job. Hired Nick Zychek as our offensive line coach. Brad from Cedar Ridge. Brad Bresnahan as our linebacker coach from Cedar Ridge. And Mike Cockrell from Cedar Park is our wide receiver coach.
So a little plucking from around the area to solidify this Georgetown coaching staff.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
All right. Thanks for visiting with Coach Griffin. Now we're going to go down to the sideline with Coach Vieira and the baseball team on the big victory here in Game 1 of the playoffs.
Okay, you got. All right, we're here with Coach Jordan Vieira. Coach, great game tonight. Congratulations on the win. Talk about what happened tonight.
Yeah, so Nick goes out and gives us a great performance, fills up the strike zone. Plays some pretty good defense behind him. We end up scoring the 1 early, and then you tack on the 3 falling after that. And then their guy, EJ, does a really good job of just being better as the game goes on. We knew that was going to be the case. He was going to get better as it went. We capitalized when we need to and played quality defense when we needed to. Have a couple of miscues there at the end. Got to let them back into it. But overall, I mean, our guys got gritty again. They let them tie it up. They went and scratched one to make sure that we sealed the thing.
When they tied it up, Wally and I were talking about the grit of this team, and we're going to see what's going to happen. This is the toughest, really the toughest test in the playoffs so far. Yep. Guys responded, though.
Yeah, they're a good baseball team. There's not any bad baseball teams in the playoffs anymore. Everybody can play. We know that we're going to have our work cut out for us every night. We just got to show up and execute what we do.
So tomorrow night, 7 o'clock first pitch in Canyon. I guess we're looking for more of the same tomorrow night, right?
Hey, man, travel your butt down there to New Braunfels, an hour and a half.
How about this crowd tonight?
Holy cow, these guys are absolutely incredible. Georgetown showed out tonight, got loud, and made an impact in the game. The more that we can have blue in the stands, the better we'll play.
Well, Coach, we'll be there.
Awesome.
Looking forward to a great game. Congratulations on the win.
You.
See you tomorrow night. And then we got number 25, Reese Wheels Bell.
That's right.
I'm trying to get that nickname to stick, man.
No, it's sticking.
Come on up this way a little bit. Am I the only one calling you that?
No, my girlfriend is. My girlfriend's calling me that too.
So she's watching the game.
Yeah, she is. She's
Fantastic.
watching all the games. She's watching all the games.
I want that to stick so bad. Man, you had a great performance at the plate tonight.
Yeah.
Drove in some runs. Talk about this game tonight.
It's what we prepare for all the time. Like high intense games that are really close, and we know how to handle situations. We know how to come back. We know how to stay up, and we know how to stay up during the game. Last out, we can. You can never lose a ball game until the umpire says it's over. So, we're just going out there playing our best.
So, at first tonight, you had a couple of scoops of some throws over to you that really saved some plays, especially in that what inning was it? The 6th inning. You had a couple of stops.
Fifth or sixth, yeah. Yeah, I work on picks all the time during practice. First base. That's kind of like the thing I do. It's kind of what I work on because I get a lot of picks from my teammates. I know they're going to make me good throws, but sometimes I got to pick them up. So, always trying to get better.
Well, Reese, great game tonight. You got any shout-outs?
My girlfriend back in California, I love you, and I miss you. So, yeah, that's a shout-out.
All right, brother. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Congratulations on the win. We got Reese Wheels Bell. Back to you, Wally.
Thanks, Kelly. Coach Jordan Vieira and Reese Wheels Bell. Our interviews tonight down on the field after a big Game 1 victory here in the regional quarterfinal. 6-4 your final. And what a ball game. No runs for Canyon until the top of the 6th inning, and they tie it up. 4 runs put up on the board on 2 hits, a couple of big Eagle errors. And then they go to the bottom of the 6th, and the Eagles respond. The Eagles come up and lead off the inning. Ty Klaus Keismore grounds out, and then Zachary Mazik on the base hit, fouled it, or thought it was going to be fouled off at home plate, but the ball stayed fair. The catcher thought it was going to go foul. He lets it go. Mazik runs it out, a leadoff single. That's followed up by a stolen base by Zach Zavala. He gets into scoring position and moves to third on the throw down. It kind of boots out into right center field. And then an RBI single by E.J. Davis. He punches it into shallow right field. That scored Zach Zavala, and the Eagles took the lead. That would end up being the game-winning run and the game-winning RBI by E.J. Davis, who had a great night. 2 for 4 from the plate, scored 2 runs, stole a base, and had 3 RBIs on the night. The second baseman playing well and hitting well for this Eagle team. But then that wasn't all, because E.J. Davis ends up coming around to score on a ground ball by Logan Smith. The error the pop-up by Logan Smith. The error by the shortstop allowed Logan to reach base. EJ scores from third base, and the Eagles get that insurance run. Coming to the bottom of the 7th inning, and Wade Denton goes to work, allows a guy on first base, and then a single to right field, 2 runners on, but then is able to get the final out, a ground ball to Eli Hillman for out number 3. Your Eagles victorious 6-4 over the New Braunfels Canyon Cougars here in game number 1. Game number 2 tomorrow, live from New Braunfels Canyon High School in New Braunfels, Texas. 6:30 pregame live here on SHN, 7 o'clock first pitch. But more importantly, like Coach said, I will quote him, get your butts down to New Braunfels. This crowd tonight was electric. It was what these players needed. It was loud, and it was proud, and it was something to behold, and what an opportunity. We'll take a quick break. Kelly gets back up at the booth, and we'll close it out. You're listening to Eagle Baseball on SHN Sports. Kelly joins me back here in the booth, and what a night, Kelly. I tell you what, you could have talked to Reese Bell. You could have talked to E.J. Davis. E.J. Davis gets recorded with the game-winning RBI. 3 RBIs on the night for E.J. Davis as he went 2 for 4, a big RBI double. He scored 2 runs, but none bigger than that. Bottom of the 6th inning, Zach Zavala gets on base as the courtesy runner. Infield single by Zach
Yep.
Mazik. But then you go back to Zach Mazik. I tell you what, you're asking for a senior leader to step up, and the young man behind the plate has done it offensively, and he continues to do it defensively night in and night out. He had a great series against Floresville. I talked to him last night, and then he follows it up tonight. I sat here looking at it, hit by a pitch, a double, a single. 3 runs were scored in his position as Zach Zavala, the courtesy runner for the catcher. But he got on base all 4 times, an intentional walk. People know he's going to put the ball in play, and, man, does he ever do it continually for this team. The top 3 in the lineup doing a great job tonight.
Yeah, they did. And Zach is one of those players I think I take for granted because he's so consistent. He's just a wall behind the plate, gets on base a high percentage of the time, just does what he has to do, and he's a great leader on this team. And you almost forget he's back there because you never have to talk about a poor performance. And we saw it again tonight. Just great team win. You heard Coach talk about it. Even before I started the interview, he was saying, man, heart's still beating, but
you talked about it, and we said, now we find out about the grittiness of this team after they give up 4 runs on a couple of key errors. They're in the top of the 6th inning, but then they come back in the bottom of the 6th, and the grit shines through. EJ gets that single. The catcher, and you give that to Robbie Lopez. You understand the thinking, but at the same time, you could sit there all day and tell him, hey, pounce on that ball and throw him out. Or, hey, right. I thought it was going foul too.
Right.
Zach runs it out. He gets on base. Zach gets on base. Then Zach Zavala comes in. Still second base. The throw goes off of him into right center field. He gets to third. Now you have a runner on third base with only 1 out. And a key base hit by E.J. Davis into shallow right field. Scores the game-winning run. The Eagles end up putting 1 more insurance run on the board, and then give it to Wade Denton. He comes in and shuts the door again for he ends up with the victory, stealing another victory 2 weeks in a row for Wade Denton on in relief. But another good game where this Eagles are tested, but then they perform and they come through. Reese Bell doing a great job. E.J. Davis doing a great job. Zachary Mazik doing a great job. Logan Smith doing a great job. But not giving up on themselves. The error by Eli Hellman, it's a race. He makes the last play, a ground ball, and throws a bullet across to Reese Bell to retire the last out. This team just doesn't give up.
Grit. They've talked about it. They labeled themselves gritty, and it's one thing to label yourself something. It's another to back it up, and they backed it up again tonight.
And the craziness is the Lady Eagles softball game still going on in the 13th inning down in Marion, 3-3. One of the parents was showing me the game changer. It was still 3-3 at the end of the 12th. The Lady Eagles coming up in the 13th. And so the Lady Eagles battling against Victoria West down in Marion, Texas. So stay tuned to the social medias there. Twitter account, I'm sure, will update.
They're going to be tired for that early start tomorrow because they got a 3 o'clock first pitch tomorrow.
3 p.m. first pitch tomorrow at Marion High School for game number 2. This Eagle team will be on the road tomorrow, New Braunfels High School at Canyon High School down in New Braunfels. 7 o'clock's the game time. And I said it while you were coming back up, and I'll say it again. To quote Coach, get your butts down to New Braunfels. The hour and a half drive is not that bad, but props to this crowd. What a crowd tonight for this game. Electric, loud. These players feed off of that, and what an advantage tonight.
This is the biggest crowd I've seen at this stadium. Great support tonight. Great job by this crowd, and I hope half of them make it to New Braunfels. Half of them or more make it to New Braunfels tomorrow.
And this team and this fan base does travel well. And as this road continues, as this team presses on for the ultimate goal to end up at the Dell Diamond, this town and this crowd continues to support them. If you can't be there tomorrow at New Braunfels Canyon High School, join us live here on SHN Sports. Kelly and I will be on the call, 6:30 pregame, 7 o'clock first pitch for game number 2. At that game, if the Eagles are victorious, they advance to the regional semifinals. If not, Saturday, 7 p.m. first pitch at Westlake High School. But it is going to be fun to watch because these two teams will do battle again tomorrow night. Thanks for listening to tonight. The Eagles victorious here in game number 1, 6-4 over the New Braunfels Canyon Cougars. 4 runs, 6 hits, 1 error for the Cougars. 6 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors for your Eagles. They are victorious, and we'll be back tomorrow night with more Eagle playoff baseball. Thanks for listening. Remember, it doesn't cost you a dime to be kind. See you guys tomorrow. Enjoy the fight song, and have a good night.